experience at every position.
Grab some starters here. If I send you a picture, you have the just some extra details for the real Bible broadcast.
Yeah. Yep. I was wondering. Hey,
Anything else good there?
yeah, I think so. I just threw away what I didn't use last year. Yeah, like whenever you said it, I ordered something. Oh, okay. That's fine.
We need to have a start. So the other line, quarterback. We go fullback, running back. Kevon Wright, Savion Harrison.
Hey, Matt.
We gotta do that.
These are starters. Really, they come to the so I'm going down to get started on the side of it. Gotcha. You got it. Anything else? You got any preference? We usually just get one side of the ball so we can announce it. Yeah, there's captain.
I haven't seen it too. My niece is she's not doing it. Yeah, but my sister's saying, we're looking at F&M and Getty. It's like, and where are you getting that money from? There we go. I can play this. I give it to you. Yes, it is.
I'm sure they would be. I don't want to find out. You know what I mean?
It was set for 60 when I got here, and right before 6 o'clock I turned it on. Now, how long has this guy been at Delone?
Jordan?
Yeah.
Do you have that stat? Big guy? Hang on, let me see. 29, 4 seasons. 4 seasons. 29-13. Come on, there you go.
You're crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
Both coaches are in
Is this only the fourth for Andy?
Where'd it come from?
Yeah. He's in his fifth. So yeah, so our kid that was playing Barkley is got mono.
Mono. Right.
So you guys got that changed or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna put Sterner over there at the right tackle, and they're gonna move.
Oh, they just send me up. They just send the offensive line up to me. They don't say positions. I say on the offensive line, the following players.
I don't know. I got a wing to start it. Who starts? Who's your wire? David Moy.
Yeah.
Is that the way you pronounce that?
Yeah, Moy, probably maybe Donald Dent.
Can give me somebody else. Pennsylvania? Will they start the sophomore? No.
I don't know. I wasn't at the game last week, so I could hear it from where I was at. Though.
We're gonna get him.
I was in the neighborhood, my neighborhood. They had a little get together. And every so often, they would come up over the hill from Catholic. Next week, I'll be State College bound.
I didn't even that good last week. Sure. Lamar Jackson gonna take care of that body of his. That kid sneaks on the field. Might be one of them. Might be one, yeah. Might be one of the things where you give the kid a shot. Just saying. Might have to tailor that offense back.
Nobody told me that I'm supposed to start announcing that. And if it's like when Matt was here, let's say started March and I started. So yeah, I'll be here this week. I'll go out afterwards. I'd love to, but Tyler was having one of her friends over, and I'm sure, hey honey, I'll be home eventually after I go out. We'll go over like a park, or a park in this front. I'll probably see you. On the other side. Like the far side of Harrisburg. The other two. Hey girls! Wait, who got married? Another sucker born. I mean, but I'm fine. Any clue when I'm supposed to start announcing? Once they start, you know? Okay. I'm not supposed to be doing this. It's supposed to be a band here.
Whenever you're ready.
Can't argue with that. That's how we feel.
Yes, where they're at here. No, I haven't.
Your home for local sports is Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Welcome to Sports Radio 1350's High School Football Game of the Week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine, the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of the York Revolution.
Fullback gives it to the left side. Nice here. Smith pushes to the defense. It's a touchdown, Wildcats.
High school football plays here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports, and bringing you the best of the York Adams League every Friday night.
He takes the snap, drops, pump fakes, fires downfield. What touchdown!
Now, let's head out to the action for the Game of the Week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.
Additional staff include...
Welcome in, sports fans, to our Week 2 feature of high school football Game of the Week on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and WOYK 1350. Also found on the WOYK Preps YouTube channel. Again, this is our Week 2 feature. York Suburban Trojans playing host to Delone Catholic Squires. And hello again, this is Gareth Hissong, joined by my partner Andy Bria. And Coach, tonight going to be another great matchup here on High School Football Game of the Week. Look at the York Suburban Trojans, 1-0, coming off of a commanding win last week, 41-13 at West York. They are led by head coach Andy Laux. He has a 23-20 record in 3 seasons, this being his 4th season here at York Suburban, and playing host to Delone Catholic Squires, led by Corey Zortman, 29-14 record here at the beginning of his 4th season. And they come off of a tough loss last week playing at Trinity, losing 23-8. What do we have to look at a little bit tonight with Delone Catholic coming in here?
Well, we talked to Zortman before the game, and he says he's young, but, you know, it's his next up for him. He lost a lot of guys. But they're really, I'll tell you, they run a wing tee. And it's going to be interesting to see how somebody prepares for an offense that you don't see. And his kids right now, they're very athletic. And I think they're going to give the Trojans, you know, all they want to. They got to believe in themselves, and they got to come out here and play hard. And that wing tee is going to bother York Suburban early.
Delone Catholic certainly running that wing tee will try their best to hold on to the ball and keep it away from York Suburban. And, again, continuing our Flying Feet pregame show, looking at the keys to the game, which are brought to you by Brooks Huff. For York Suburban, what should we expect from them tonight? Well,
you got a very veteran bunch. You got 10 coming back, starters coming back on both sides of the football. Now we got a couple of injuries. Nazir and Barkley are out, but still, next man up there. When you have the pleasure of having that many kids back that have been playing with you for 2 and 3 years, Coach has got to feel good, but he said, and the quote, I hope I get this right, you know, potential doesn't necessarily equal success. So their potential can be very high. Can they turn that over and turn it into success? We're going to see here tonight, because Delone Catholic's going to come in here, and they beat them handily last year, 62-0 Delone. But this is a different Suburban bunch. Right. For a good one tonight.
As we heard talking to the coaches on the field and talking to Coach Andy Laux, is you can look good on paper. How do you play on the field? And you can look good in a uniform. Do you play good in a uniform?
I thought that was a great quote. Again, the potential to wins is a great statement. I'm going to use that all year, and that's exactly what it is. You can look good in a uniform, big boy, you know, in the weight room look good, but when you get out there and got to put it all on the line, and everybody got to understand their job, know their position, and execute, it's a different story.
Well, again, York Suburban coming in here with the momentum after a dominating victory last week. Delone licking their wounds a little bit, losing to Trinity at Trinity. And, well, actually, it was at Delone Catholic, so losing at home.
Right.
And can't beat this scene. No. 82 degrees, Friday night, last weekend in August.
Yeah, I know. This is nice. I'm telling you what, I enjoyed coming back doing this. I didn't know how I was going to feel, but I'm enjoying this. This is fun, man. I like this.
Here in the booth, the sun going down in the west, beating into our eyes, so can't wait till that goes down over the hill. And
right.
A little bit of a westerly breeze, but when that doesn't come, it gets stuffy in this booth. So there's the scene. That's what's this site set for you. And stay tuned for more of our Flying Feet pregame show. We already gave a look from the keys of the game, brought to you by Brooks Huff. And after this break, we'll come back as Andy Bria caught up with the coaches.
Before the challenges of keeping fit while working 9 to 5, and long before Pilates and Zumba were even a thing. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes outfitted you as a young athlete. When you slipped into a new sport practically every season, you learned a lot and you grew strong. Now that you're an adult, Why stop? Flying Feet has the brands and the styles that will increase your performance no matter how you choose to maintain your fitness. Just like when you were a kid, when you shop Flying Feet, you know you'll walk away with the best fit and natural comfort. Flying Feet stocks fitness shoes and all kinds of fitness gear. So, what do you do these days? Trail walking? Working out on the track, on the street, in the gym? Sign up for exercise classes like Pilates, Zumba, or need shoes for weightlifting? It doesn't matter what you're into, you can always count on Flying Feet. It's the one sportswear specialty store that's truly ageless. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Melrose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83.
Get your football party started with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood Sure Say markets. Pick up party platters with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs and hamburgers with Best Yet rolls. Get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Sobel's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, and Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry. Take us on the go with the new WOYK app. Download on the Apple and Google Play stores today. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
You'll never find a better bang for your buck than in a new Mitsubishi from York Mitsubishi. York Mitsubishi packs tons of performance and features into today's hottest cars, starting at thousands below the competition, with even more discounts and rebates added on, like $5,000 off the 7-passenger Outlander, 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,500 cash back on Outlander Sport, 0% financing for 72 months on the sporty Eclipse Cross, and don't forget the go-kart on steroids, the Mitsubishi Mirage, with up to 43 miles per gallon, one of the lowest priced cars in America today, starting at $12,990. Mitsubishi adds even more value with their exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Plus, any purchase made with 0% financing means no payment for 90 days. And remember, past credit problems are never an issue at York Mitsubishi. So get pre-approved at YorkMitsubishi.com now. York Mitsubishi, around the corner of Route 30 and Roosevelt Avenue, where Mitsubishis always cost less.
New FM signal, new website. Get features, live broadcasts, and on-demand game broadcasts and shows online at 989WOYK.com.
Welcome back to our pregame show. Tonight, we're at York Suburban High School, where the York Suburban Trojans will tackle the visiting Delone Squires. And with me now is the head coach of the York Suburban Trojans. That's Andy Locke. Coach, everybody's been talking about you got 10 back on defense, 10 back on offense. You got one out of the way last week in Catholic, and now you got a team that beat you up a little bit last year. Well, any revenge?
Beating us up was an understatement. We got embarrassed last year. I mean, it's always going to be a revenge factor, but that's not something we focus on. You know, we still got to play this game. This is this year. That was last year. Those kids aren't coming back to play for them, and the kids that we have actually are back to play, but, I mean, it's not the same game. It's two different games. So,
I heard a quote by you that said something to the effect that we have to turn potential into success. Is that correct? Did I say that? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can look great on paper, but if you don't turn what looks on paper to on the field, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's about playing your best every play and every game. You can look great in a uniform, but you don't play in the uniform, it doesn't really matter much.
You got a couple of big linemen now. Talk about that.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be back next week. Nasir had to get a little cleanup job on his knee. He had a piece of his meniscus that was floating around, but he's been practicing all week. They just won't clear him until next week, and Garth has been sick for the last week and a half. He played against Catholic, but it wasn't, he played, but it wasn't the regular Garth, but he'll be back next week too, so we'll be happy to get both of those guys back, that's for sure.
All right, couple of keys if you had to pick them for tonight's game for you to come out here a winner.
Well, we can't turn the ball over. We got to be smart with the football. That's probably every game you could say that, but that's going to be important. And I think we have to finish plays on offense and finish plays on defense. Whether it be a run, pass, whatever it is, we can't just stand around like if we're a lineman. We can't just stand around and look because Savion's running around and doing things. We got to keep moving. We got to keep playing until the whistle blows.
Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of our pregame show right after this on Sports Radio 1350 and 98.9 FM.
Hunters Hill Orthodontics is a longtime staple in the orthodontic care community. With offices in York and Dillsburg, our practice's top priority is to provide you with the highest quality orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable environment. Call our York offices, 1910 Kenneth Road, at 767-6694 to make your appointment, or at 1399 South Queen Street, 885-5468. Or in Dillsburg, call 502-1186. We've got your smile at Hunters Hill Orthodontics.
Want to give your child the best birthday ever without hosting, planning, or cleanup work? Book a York Revolution birthday party at Peoples Bank Park. Parties include 2 hours of all-you-can-eat Kessler's hot dogs and pizza, goodie bags for all guests, and Penn State Children's Hospital playground wristbands. The birthday child gets a custom Revs jersey and throws out a first pitch, and the whole crowd sings happy birthday before the party enjoys a customized Revs birthday cake. Birthdays at a Revs game. Best birthday ever. Details at YorkRevolution.com or 717-801-HITS.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Welcome back to our pregame show. With me now is the Delone Squires head coach, and that's Corey Zortman. Coach, last year you had your way with this Trojan bunch up at your place. You're coming down here with a younger squad this year. Lost some key components. Talk a little bit about your guys and the challenge tonight.
Yeah, that is a challenge. They're a lot like we were last year. We were senior heavy, and when you have a good group of seniors, it usually equates to success. And we know we're up against a tough team tonight, without question. Especially we'll be undersized in comparison, and they have primarily seniors starting, and we have some inexperience. So we just have to play within ourselves and not look forward to the next play or the play behind you, and just play the play that's there. And last week I thought we had times where we became frantic, and it was counterproductive.
All right, Kevin Mallory's coming in and replacing Evan Brady. Talk a little bit about that transition for your bunch.
Well, Kevin is a lot like Evan in the physical aspect, and he had a good friendship with Evan, and those guys worked together every day for 3 years. So, Kevin looked up to him, and he just wants to be his own guy, and it's his turn to take the reins, and he just, play in and play out, has to realize that he doesn't have to win the game on a single throw or a single play. Just, control the ball, don't turn over, and be a leader in the huddle. And he's going to do a fine job for us.
Defensively, how are you going to play these guys tonight up front, especially up front?
Well, obviously they have quite a size difference on us, and we're going to have to try to rely on our athleticism and speed to try to offset that, even though they do have some really good skill positions as well. So they're going to be a handful, there's no question about it.
A couple of keys, Coach, you got to do well to try to get out of here with a win.
Don't do what we did last week. Put the ball on the ground, turnovers, penalties, the things that will take any football team down at any level. We just got to be able to control the ball, don't turn it over, don't commit critical penalties at awful times, and just make plays when they're there to make, and try not to do too much.
Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of our pregame show right after this on Sports Radio 1350 and 98.9 FM.
Hey, it's the good-looking genius at Broadway Transmission. You know what really grinds my gears? Perfectly good cars being thrown away just because the transmission went bad. My mind slips into overdrive when someone says,
I'll just get a new car before I spend that kind of money on a transmission.
What? According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car is $32,000. Now you're going to finance that, right? There's another $6,000 to $8,000. And if you drive it off the showroom floor, it loses 20% of its value immediately. Don't forget, you also have to pay sales tax, higher insurance rates, title and registration fees, and come up with $600, $700, $800 a month depending on your interest rates for 5 years. And remember, you will still have to pay for the upkeep of the car, brakes, tires, wipers, fluids, etc. Stop! Trade your transmission, not your car.
Thanks, good-looking genius.
You're welcome, ma'am. Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and save you all that dough. Visit us on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Today it seems everybody is offering a discount on car insurance, but at what price? Reduced protection, impersonal service. At State Farm, you can earn discounts and still get full service and dependable protection from the world's largest car insurer. See me, Trish Hauser, 1865 Susquehanna Trail North, York, for the State Farm multiple line discount. With State Farm, you get an agent you can depend on and an insurance company you can trust. For the details on State Farm's multiple line discount, see me, Trish Hauser.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to York Suburban as they play host to Delone Catholic. And the captains go to midfield for our coin toss. The York Suburban captains, Max Reinecker, Savion Harris, David Moy, and linebacker Josh Ruffensberg. For Delone Catholic, number 76, Chicory Calhoun, representing Delone Catholic, along with Donald Dent, Jace Henderson. And as we look to, again, this Flying Feet pregame show and take a look back at the keys to the game, which were brought to you by Brooks Huff. And as we head into our intros, Coach, again, tonight we look at a young Delone Catholic team coming up against a very experienced York Suburban team in a great setting here tonight. Perfect weather. Expect a high-intensity matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, for Delone, you got to, Coach said in the interviews, you got to stay away from the mistakes. Okay, that's his big key tonight. He can't put the ball on the mat. He just can't do that. He's got to keep possession. If you're Indy Locks, the potential thing is a big thing. He got one out of the way last week with York Catholic. Now he's got to get another one out of the way with Delone. So we'll see.
Now let's take a minute and tune into our national anthem. Nothing sets the scene more than that national anthem. Get everybody ready to go.
Here we go.
We have 12 minutes on the board, and we are almost ready for football. And, Coach, can you take us around the league? Give us a little update of what else we have going on around the area before we put Total Leather here. And this look around the league brought to you by Hunters Hill Orthodontics.
All right, we got Bermudian Springs. They're at Boiling Springs tonight. Biglerville at Steelton High Spires. Big game tonight, Central York at Cumberland Valley.
That's a good test.
Absolutely. Manheim Township's coming to see Dallastown tonight. Our game here, Delone and York Suburban, we got Elizabethtown at Dover. We got Eastern at Hanover. That'll be a big one up there in Hanover tonight. Bishop Carroll at Fairfield. McDevitt at Gettysburg. Okay. There's one I'm looking for a score on, okay? Solanco at Kennerdale. Littlestown at Susquehannock. New Oxford at Conestoga Valley. Northeastern at Carlisle. Red Line taking a big travel night tonight. They're going out to Waynesboro. Chambersburg at Southwestern. Spring Grove at Muhlenberg. And West York at Shippensburg. And a big one at McCaskey tonight, York High, going over to Lancaster County to play J.P. McCaskey. And that's our look around the league.
Brought to you by Hunters Hill Orthodontics. So wrapping up our Flying Feet pregame shows, we're about to put Total Leather. And to kick it off for York Suburban, number 12, David Moy. And gathering it at the 14-yard line, out around the 25, out past the 30. Looks to be about the 33, 34-yard line where Delone Catholic will go to work. And that return, Joe Hernandez.
Number 55 made it tackle for York Suburban.
It is a 33-yard line where Delone Catholic will go to work with captain quarterback Kevin Mowry, the senior 5'10", 175-pound full backfield. In motion goes Hernandez. He gets the ball, goes around the left side, and gets about a yard or two. It looks like he's out about to the 35-yard line.
Number 8 for the Trojans makes that tackle. Kevon Wright. But again, that wing T going to show you sweep. They're going to give you sweeps, and I think Suburban played it well that time. Held it for a 2-point gain, or 2-yard gain, excuse me.
2-yard gain. We'll get a 2nd and 8 for the Squires as they come out to the line. Under center, quarterback Kevin Mowry. In motion goes number 4, Colin Gebhardt. He gets the fake, and the ball goes up the middle. And I think that's going to be the fullback, Josh Fulton.
And again, number 50,
his first carry.
Right, and again, number 55, Dermont Pogson with the stop. But that wing T right there, wide open on that little dive right up the middle by the running back.
And a nice 9-yard gain for the first down. Squires moving the sticks here on their opening possession.
Different than last week.
Squires take the snap, and the handoff's going to go up the middle again to Fulton.
Outside.
He's got some room around the right side. Gets into Trojan territory and more. And he's finally knocked out at about the 31-yard line.
That's safety Mike Benavania, freshman, 5'7", 170 pounds on that tackle.
And that's a 26-yard gain for the young man.
And again, right now, Delone's got him on their heels with this wing T.
This is a hard offense to replicate in practice.
Absolutely.
Talked to head coach Corey Zortman about that before the game. Fake the handoff around the right side. Again, they'll go up the middle to the fullback, Fulton. And he's going to be met by a wall of defenders, the Trojans, and for a loss of 1.
Basically, you had your interior, Devontae Embry-Banks, Matt Benavania, both in there on that tackle that time. And you're right. The wing T, very difficult to defend if you don't see it all the time. They already broke 2 big ones in this drive.
So again, to the line go the Squires. It's going to be a handoff around the left side to Hernandez. Another great job by the defense of the Trojans, meeting him at about the line of scrimmage, driving him back forward progress. We'll have a short gain, and it'll be 3rd and a long 9.
Mike
for the Delone Catholic Squires.
Mike Benavania and Dermont Pogson filling that hole real well that time. Looks like Suburban might have figured it out. Fill them gaps, stand your ground. Very disciplined against this offense.
So rolling clock under 9 minutes, 30 seconds in our first quarter. The Squires, a 3rd and 9 from the Trojans, 31-yard line. And Mowry will roll out, throws it on the run and wide open and making the catch At about the 20 and getting a few extra yards is Joe Hernandez. His first reception tonight. He has 2 receptions for 22 yards coming into the game.
You know, gee, if you're Delone, this is exactly what you wanted if you're the coaching staff of Delone. This is how you want it to start.
And that's a 16-yard gain for the young man, Joe Hernandez. And around the right side, getting to carry is Colin Gebhardt, navigating his way through that defensive line for about a 2-3-yard gain.
Number 75 that time, Hayden Toman makes the tackle.
Hayden Toman, number 75.
A formidable bunch on this defensive front.
I'm telling you, they've got some big guys up front, and right now they're getting penetration, but the couple of big plays that Delone broke, they got him in the gaps.
Delone Catholic about to take their 7th snap of this drive inside the red zone, going 2nd and 8 from the 11-yard line. Moving from our right to left, a handoff up the middle as Josh Fulton puts his head down and bulls through this defensive line for a gain of 5.
And again, number 55 Poxon getting a lot of work, got his hands on his hips. I'll tell you, Delone right now is not necessarily doing this with power up front, man to man. They're getting people in space and running guys by the running backs.
40 yards on 3 carries for Fulton tonight. In motion goes Hernandez. Fulton gets the handoff up the middle. He is wrapped up and brought down after a short gain by Hayden Toman once again.
What do you do here? Gee, do you kick the field goal or you go for it?
Coming off of a loss early, a good start and a good drive, I go for it. Here is a fourth and 3.
That's what they're going to do.
And that's what the Squires are going to do. They come out in their offensive set at the 7-yard line, 6-yard line, going from our right to left, ball in the middle of the field. And Delone Catholic is going to take a timeout and discuss this one. So we'll stay here so we don't miss any action as they're in the red zone, knocking on the doorstep. And a great opening possession, and you asked me what I would do in this situation. And when you're a team coming in and you look like you're the underdog and a team that had a dominating win the week prior, you're licking your wounds coming off of a loss. I'm trying to get as much momentum as I can early.
I tell you, I think maybe now they might go for the field goal. We'll see. Maybe they wanted to try to draw them offside on a 4th and 3. But I'm with you. If I'm coach, I want to go for it. You got the momentum. They have not showed me they can solve the wing T on every possession, on every play. So let's see. Here we go. And there comes the field goal.
Yep, and
that's what they want to do.
Out of a timeout, Corey Zortman, after thinking about it twice. And we will get a kick that is down, up, through the upper.
We have no signal.
No, it's no good. It looks good from here.
I'll tell you what, it took the officials about 5, 6, 8 seconds to get that.
A lot of confusion between the stripes. Coaches from Delone Catholic not happy.
I didn't say that, by the way. I did not say that. That's all. I just,
That was Tony Espinoza that was in for that 22-yard field goal attempt that was missed. And maybe some homerism here from the refs. You have a good rapport with referees, isn't that right, Coach?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They all love me. I usually take it easy on us, Coach. Okay. All right, here we go.
And so now York Suburban will take over at the 20-yard line. Max Reinecker at quarterback in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Throws left. And that's going to be completed to the backup tight end. And how do you say this last name, Coach? Let me try this. Matt Benevenia.
Matt Benevenia, you got it exactly right.
A great catch by him. And he's a 6'2", 245-pound sophomore. And had to go down to the ground, almost fell, getting that one off his shoelace. And it's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Trojans from the left hash, going from our left to right. A handoff to the right side, and shifty with the moves is Captain Savion Harrison. Comes into this game with 10 carries, 154 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's the staple in the backfield for the York Suburban Trojans as he navigates through the defense.
Nice job,
for a
mate.
solid gain of 6.
Nice job by linebacker Joe Hernandez to set the corner and force that back inside where that could have been a big gain. Held him to about 4 yards.
So a 3rd and 3 for the Trojans. And it's going to be a handoff to Savion Harris, wide open up the middle, and he's across midfield, across the 30. It's a foot race up the left sideline, and finally drug out at the 10-9 line of Delone Catholic. Squires, and on the tackle, making the chase down the field to make the play is number 21, Mason Clayball.
Tell you, Delone looking pass all the way that time. Pinned their ears back to come get him. He just went right through the middle of the line. Nobody touched him. He got to the secondary before they even blinked.
And a good Red Sea parted, and it was wide open real estate up the middle. So here it is, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the York Suburban Trojans. In the shotgun, Reinecker gets the ball, hands it off the middle, and it's Nate Banks getting the carry off of right tackle. He stood up and stopped at the 5-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 4.
Nice job that time. Tough to see it in this light right now.
Sun just starting to set for us. Up until now, it's been blistering in our eyes. And the York Suburban Trojans go on a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. 2 back in the backfield, a fullback and a running back. Reinecker under center and tosses it to the right. And into the end zone for a rushing touchdown of 4 yards is Savion Harris, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
They made that one look real easy. The big play, it puts him inside the 10-yard line. 2 plays, 7-0.
So an 80-yard drive that only takes 4 plays is capped off with a 4-yard rushing touchdown by Savion Harrison. And a good snap and a good hold. And the kick is good by Griffin Smith, put through the uprights. And with 4:49 remaining in the first quarter, York Suburban strikes first.
And they got it on the big play.
If you've been thinking of going to college and you would like to play sports when you get there, join our team. Earn a Penn State degree and continue to play the sports you love. 6 collegiate sports are now available, including baseball, soccer, men's basketball, women's softball, and women's volleyball. For more information, check out our website at PennStateYorkSports.com. Once again, that's PennStateYorkSports.com.
Can't get enough of the Birds? Sports Radio 98.9 and 1350 WOYK has you covered. Join us all season on Mondays at 6 for the Baltimore Baseball Show, hosted by award-winning Orioles and National Baseball writer Dan Connolly from The Athletic Baltimore. Exclusive in-depth interviews, plus the latest insight and analysis on the Orioles every week. Talking baseball and the Birds every Monday at 6. The Baltimore Baseball Show, brought to you by Flying Feet Sports Shoes on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. New FM signal, new website. Visit us online at 989WOYK.com and take us on the go. Download the new WOYK app today.
And kicking it off is a squib kick. David Moy kicks it to the right. As I said, it was a nice squib kick, keeping it out of the hands of Joe Hernandez and Gabe Lee, who were deep to return for the Squires, and that was fielded by Dylan Zimmerman at the 28-yard line. 27-yard line, and that is where Delone Catholic will go to work on their second possession.
I believe it's a big series for Delone right here, okay? They need to answer with some kind of points or at least 2 first downs to change field position. This is the way that game started last week. It could be a bad omen when you get them quick scores.
Delone Catholic on their second possession will start with a handoff around the left side, given to Joe Hernandez, and a good gain, close to a first down, might be a 3 yards short. A nice 7-yard gain for Joe Hernandez on first down, 2nd and 3 for the Squires.
I tell you what, Dermont Poxkin in his linebacker spot, he can get sideline to sideline. I bet you he's got 5 tackles already tonight.
Hear his name a lot. Again, Squires. Go to the line, fake the handoff to the right side, and keep it up the middle to Josh Fulton, the fullback.
I believe he got first down. And again, Poxon in on a tackle.
A good 4-yard gain for the first down for the fullback Fulton.
Right, and that's a play that keeps them off balance, G. They either hand it off, and then all of a sudden you go in and you try to stop the fullback, and that's when they're going to give it on the sweep.
Delone had a good opening possession, keeping the defense on their heels with this wing T offense. And again, Joe Hernandez gets the call. It's going to be around the right side.
It's a fumble.
Ball comes loose. And it's all York Suburban jerseys around the ball, picking it up. And going from the 35-yard line is number 2, Savion Harris, trying to make a return. And he's finally drugged down at the 40-yard line. Making the tackle is Gage Wilderson for Delone Catholic. And York Suburban, not only do they strike first, but they're winning the turnover battle and get the first turnover of tonight's game.
And that's the mistakes that Coach Corey Zortman was talking about, okay? Makes the big run, gets the first down, trying to get that extra yardage. Ball comes loose, Suburban picks it up. Now, you got to protect from the quick one here. You got to make them work hard right now.
York Suburban will go for their second offensive possession from their own 41-yard line. In the shotgun is Reinecker. He will throw to his left, catching it and making a move around the left side across midfield. He has open space. It's a race up the left sideline and into the end zone for a 59-yard pitch and catch and score. It's on the receiving end, Nate Banks.
59-yard touchdown play.
Nate Banks that time. 2 Delone defenders ran into each other. That's what broke him free. Once he got ahead of steam, he wasn't being caught.
And those 2 defenders trying to both go in for the tackle, take themselves out of the play, and it's all Nate Banks from there. The kick is up through the uprights, and it's a 14-0 advantage for York Suburban here with 3:18 remaining in the first quarter.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses like yours with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. Our knowledgeable consultants uncover your communication challenges and provide visible solutions. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers. We're more than fast, more than signs, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Visit our store next to Sam's Club in East York or visit us online at fastsigns.com.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
And here we go again. Back to line up to kick it off are the York Suburban Trojans. And doing the honors to boot it off is number 12, David Moy. Back to return for the Squires, Gabe Lee, Joe Hernandez. This is a deep kick into the end zone over the head of the Squire returnman. And it's going to be a touchback.
And that puts the Squires 80 yards away from getting in the end zone. It's down 14-0, and this one could get away from them quick. They need to change field position here. Hold on to the football. No mistakes if you're Delone. And if you're Suburban right now, the big play's helping.
And you mentioned it last time. You thought last possession was going to be a key possession for Delone.
Absolutely.
They absolutely have to respond here on their third possession of the night. And it starts out with a handoff up the middle, immediately brought down at the line of scrimmage and getting through.
Number 75.
To make the stop is Hayden Toman again.
Tell you, that's a nice job that time. That's the first time they really put the wood to that dive play by the fullback.
Delone Catholic with the wing T attack, trying to force this defense of York Suburban to stay on their heels and read their keys. They have moved the ball well so far tonight.
Absolutely, and I think they've done that because Suburban's not used to seeing this wing tee.
So on 2nd and 11, it's going to be a rollout to the right is Kevin Mowry, and brought down in the backfield by Isaiah Panetta, the defensive end, 6'3", 235-pound junior.
But the safety coming that time, number 22, Mike Benavenia, caused that. He made the kids step up, and then the big guy just cleaned it up. This is exactly what you want if you're the Trojans.
It is, and they're doing a great job on defense, not allowing Delone Catholic to respond. And when you're running this wing T attack, you don't want to be behind in the down and distance, and you don't want to be behind late in the game. And here, Delone Catholic finds themselves in a precarious 3rd and 16.
In both of those.
Kevin Mowry directing traffic from under center. He turns and fakes the handoff. Nope, he gives it to Joe Hernandez, the captain, trying to spin out of tackles in the backfield and goes nowhere. Brought down by a host of Trojans.
That defensive front right now for the Trojans, just like last week, owns the line of Delone Catholic. They figured it out. They know what they want to do. Now if this punter can't get it out of here, you're going to give a short field to the high-powered offense from the Trojans.
So -2 on that play. And we're going to get a timeout on the field. It's going to be Delone Catholic taking their second timeout of the first quarter, and we're going to stay here so we don't miss any action.
Go ahead.
Coach, really, this first quarter, really, it's first couple possessions look pretty even back and forth. Scoreboard doesn't reflect that, but Delone Catholic moving the ball well, making mistakes late and not finishing drives.
Right, and I think, again, the first 2 possessions, I think it was York Suburban's defense getting used to looking at that wing T. They'd give it on a dive play to the fullback. It would open up. Then they fake the dive, go wide. Now all of a sudden, Suburban, has a little time to see this. They stay in their lanes. They're taking away pretty much everything right now Delone wants to do. Delone needs a first down here, I'm telling you. They need a first down. I'm sorry. They just need to get it out of here. I'm sorry. Or 4th down. I thought it was 3rd.
So it'll be a 4th and 19. Delone Catholic. Gabe Lee back to kick to punt for the Squires. He stands a yard deep in his own end zone, and back to return Nate Banks for York Suburban. The punt is off. It's a good spiraling punt and fielded at the 50-yard line by Nate Banks. He comes up midfield, a big block. Banks around the right side, gets to the right sideline, and that is where he's going to be drug out by the punter, Gabe Lee. Great hustle by number 7 for the Squires to come up and make the tackle after a 22-yard return.
Number 65 for put a lick on somebody. That would have been Brendan Sterner. Okay, just put a lick.
This game not for the weary.
This is exactly what Delone did not want to have happen.
So York Suburban, first time going from their first play of the drive in Delone Catholic territory, starting at the 28, a throw out to the left, and it's going to be incomplete. It was questionable whether it was a forward pass or a lateral.
It was close, but
Delone Catholic,
it was definitely
good job hustling to get the ball just in case, but I agree that was a forward pass. Well executed by Reinecker at quarterback to make sure that was a forward pass.
Now you got tight end Matt Benavenia. He's a sophomore in the game. This kid's 6'2", 245 pounds. That's a big target.
York Suburban, 10 returning starters on offense. It's Reinecker in the pistol, gets the ball. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Savion Harris, and runs into a wall, tries to navigate around the right side, nothing doing. Good job by the defense for the Squires, keeping him to a 3-yard gain.
A lot of poundage up front for Suburban, but a nice job that time. You hold him here to 3 points. It's, and you get out of here, you get off the field with maybe down only 14.
Reinecker in the shotgun, has 3 wide receivers, going to give the ball up the middle again
no.
to Savion Harris. He breaks it around the left side, another cut, and into the end zone, or did he? Yep,
yes.
There's the signal.
Wow.
A 26-yard rushing touchdown for Savion Harris, and the York Suburban Trojans are sledding downhill.
And they are. And that time they just put, again, seal the outside. The kid made 2 nice moves off of 2 nice blocks by his teammates and just skated right inside the pylon.
So again, in to do the extra point honors is Griffin Smith. He puts it through the uprights. It's a 21-0 lead just before the waning seconds of this first quarter, and we'll take a break.
Hunters Hill Orthodontics is a longtime staple in the orthodontic care community. With offices in York and Dillsburg, our practice's top priority is to provide you with the highest quality orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable environment. Call our York offices, 1910 Kenneth Road, at 767-6694 to make your appointment, or at 1399 South Queen Street, 885-5468. Or in Dillsburg, call 502-1186. We've got your smile at Hunters Hill Orthodontics.
Listen live, on demand, and on the go. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores today.
Back here at Dick May Field, home of the York Suburban Trojans, playing host to Delone Catholic Squires. And out to kick it off again. See someone else going to get a tired leg tonight, Coach.
Yeah, we watched
David Moy, and last kick was a touchback. This one is going to be returnable and received inside the 10 by Joe Hernandez, and he is out across the 20, 25 to the 31-yard line for the Squires, and that's going to be where they go to work. And Kevin Mowry, the quarterback, got sacked last time. Nothing but negative plays on their last possession. See if Delone Catholic can turn that around and get a little bit more momentum here with 7 seconds remaining in our first quarter.
Coach Zortman right now, his crew needs a first down. They got to figure out what to do with these defensive linemen up front for the Trojans.
And again, this first quarter brought to you by Stony Brook Family Restaurant. And I think that's where York Suburban spends most of their time. If we look at that offensive and defensive front, they are dominating tonight.
Chicory
with that
Calhoun.
size.
You ready for this? Chicory Calhoun was the first one to hit. The running back that time, 5'11", 295. All right, he's a sophomore.
And
that's a doorway.
That last play, a handoff up the middle to Joe Hernandez for a loss of 2. And as Coach is saying, Calhoun, massive.
I mean, wow. And he's backing up the starter, who is Matt Benavenia. He's 6'2", 245. It's a lot of poundage.
That's going to do it here for the first quarter with York Suburban with a commanding 21-0 lead. And let's take a look at this offensive front for Delone Catholic. Gage Wilderson, Austin Staub, Nick Groff, Micah Ford, Ryan Overdorf. I mean, there's some big guys there. Wilderson 215, Staub 205, Groff 215. And these aren't small guys, and they're going up against York Suburban's defensive front. Pineda, Banks, Benavenia, Sterner, and these guys 245, 245, 235.
Absolutely. You're giving away, you know what, you start giving 40, 50 pounds away up front on every play, that wears on you.
And introducing these fronts for you, brought to you by State Farm, Trish Hauser. And 2nd and 11 for Delone Catholic. Handoff goes around the left side to Josh Fulton. He is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2. Nope, that was Joe Hernandez on the carry. And again, making the tackle, Devontae Umbre Banks for York Suburban. And again, the Squires find themselves behind in the down and distance, facing a 3rd and 11, going from their own 31-yard line, moving from our left to right. 11:25 remaining in the second quarter.
You need to give your quarterback about 3 or 4 seconds just to set up, and I don't think he's going to get that against this defensive front.
Squires come out with Mowry in the shotgun. He takes a quick drop back, throws it up to Joe Hernandez, and nothing doing. He is blanketed by the defense of York Suburban.
Great coverage.
Yeah, phase step for step with the receiver Joe Hernandez. It's Mike Bedavania and Nate Banks.
Right, and they had him bracketed. There was nowhere he could go, and he did a nice job. One on the outside, one on the D side. Never made a play for ball they didn't have to.
So Delone Catholic will go 3 and out.
Starting to get like deja vu after last week. Nice punt that time.
A nice punt, and that's going to be returned by Banks at the 36, and making moves, getting out across the midfield line. Finally drug out of bounds at the 42.
Banks that time tiptoeing through the defense. You know what I mean? Did a nice job, made a couple of moves, made a couple of guys miss. And here we go. Just like last week, they start with a short field on the 42.
So York Suburban
31-yard return
in great field position, leading 21-0. Here in our second quarter, brought to you by Broadway Transmission.
I mean, the lines just look.
Reinecker in the shotgun, in motion. He sends Savion Harris. Rolling out to his right is Reinecker, throwing and intercepted.
Nice job.
A great catch. An interception by number 28, Joe Hernandez. Just stuck his left paw out there and then cradled it in with both hands. What an athletic play.
And I'll tell you, he was right there. And then you got to, if you're the quarterback, if you're Max Reinecker, you threw that into coverage. I mean, you threw that right there. Number 28 was all over that receiver in perfect position.
I believe that was Isaiah Panetta was the intended receiver, the tight end.
And he's a big boy, but you just can't throw a nice interception that he got.
Delone Catholic getting the ball back, going from the 27-yard line. The first play is a handoff around the right side, and a nice 4-yard gain to open up this possession.
There's that positive yardage they needed. Now they got to get that. They're going to get that fullback dive play working again. The quick hitter right in the middle. See if they go back to him.
And the Squires come out. Under center is Mowry. He turns around,
there
handed up the middle to Fulton. Fulton breaking tackles up the middle. Across the 45, gets up to the 47-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of about 17.
Nice job that time. They're splitting that gap. They're getting a quick block, but it's a quick handoff. There's no fake, you know what I mean, right up the middle. Excellent yardage, positive yardage. Delone needs to score in the worst way.
On the right hash, moving from our left to right, Delone Catholic goes 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. It's a handoff around the left side to Joe Hernandez, maneuvering around the left side, just off tackle, and gets a nice 5-yard gain.
Met first by Hayden Toman for Suburban. Another big guy, 6'3", 275, and you get him out on the move. Wow.
Delone Catholic getting into Trojan territory.
Second time tonight.
Now go with a 2nd and 5 from the 48 of York Suburban.
Your whole playbook's open here.
Another handoff up the middle to fullback Fulton, and he denies the tacklers, pushing ahead, getting close to a first down. We'll see where they mark this one.
You're going to have to measure this one. And I don't see how they move it, but now it's not a first down.
Yeah, we're going to have a timeout by York Suburban. That's going to give them time to maybe measure this.
I would think you would measure this, wouldn't you?
And with 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in our second quarter, which is brought to you by Broadway Transmission, the Trojans holding that commanding 21-0 lead over the Squires. Coach, take us into the huddle here. What are we hearing from head coach Andy Laux if you're York Suburban?
I mean, Laux right now, he's getting everything he wants. He's got, his kids have reacted. I think they've reacted well. They're up 21-0. They've shut Delone down. Yes, Delone has had some positive plays, with their wing T, but I think his defense has reacted well. He's got a plethora of linebackers, and I like this kid 22, the freshman Benevania back there. He can come up. He can get in the backfield to break it up, or he can break up the pass. Also, Dermond Poxon is a beast at middle linebacker. And so, I mean, right now, Coach got to be feeling good about where they're at.
And you've said it. You've seen a lot of guys for this defense from York Suburban flying around, making plays tonight. Really, some guys going to sideline, and we've seen some hits from this Trojan team. The Squires not backing down at all, moving the ball here.
They're moving the ball here. They got to get some points on the board.
And they did get a first down on that last carry. Here's a pitch to the left side to Hernandez. He tries to put down a shoulder, and getting lower than him is Savion Harrison, and it's going to be a no gain on 1st and 10, bringing up 2nd and 10.
With these linebackers the Trojans got, I do not believe that sweep, that jet sweep, if you will, where they pitch it, is going to work. They're going to run you laterally, and you got to hit them in the middle.
And that's where they've been most successful with the fullback Fulton. 6 carries for 67 yards. Rolling out to the right. Ragov has wide open and caught at the 20-yard line. And that is reeling that in, number 36, Ryan Myers, the senior tight end. Kevin Mowry threw that on the money.
Nice design play that. They brought him from the opposite side. He got inside number 12? Okay. He got inside David Moy. Nice pitch and catch.
25 yards. The ball is spotted at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the Squires. And it's going to be another handoff up the middle to the fullback Fulton. And he is going to be stopped for no gain, maybe 1.
Number 39, Jamal Lewis. First time we mentioned him. He's a linebacker, 5'8", 185-pound sophomore.
Pickup of a yard on the play.
And we saw in that big pass play how this defense is reading their keys, a little bit on their heels, and then that tight end just sneaks out when you're looking in that backfield action. And great play design. And, again, the Squires inside the red zone will go 2nd and 9.
This is a formidable
from the
defense
17-yard line
that this Delone team's going up against.
Fake the handoff up the middle, and it's going to be Joe Hernandez going around the left side, maneuvering through the defense for a good 7-yard gain. And it's going to be 3rd and 2. Ball is marked at the 11-yard line.
No, it's just the nose of the football. Now, if here's where Corey has to be tough. He's got to have that play. I'd go left side of that center, right at number 76.
Second time we've seen the Squires inside the red zone. First time they came away with no points after a missed field goal. See if they can capitalize on this drive. And the first flag of the night. And it's going to be
dead ball. No.
False start. False start on the Squires.
Right, and again, Coach said you got to keep away from the big mistake. The mistake at the wrong time, and that's a mistake at the wrong time. You go from 3rd and 2, which is very manageable, to now you're going to have to throw the ball.
Squires making things challenging for themselves as shoot themselves in the foot with the infraction.
Number 80, is that? Can't see the number there on this big tackle on this side for the Trojans.
So 3rd and 7, Squires are going to go from the 16-yard line. Going out to the left, making a great throw in a tight window is quarterback Kevin Mowry to the running back Joe Hernandez. And that's going to be enough for a first down, an 8-yard gain for the Squires.
And you think they would bracket Hernandez, one deep, one short, and take away that underneath throw. And Hernandez he's the man right now.
He really is. And again, under center goes Kevin Mowry. A handoff up the middle to the fullback Fulton, and that is the big guy at defensive tackle who you mentioned, number 80, Matt Benevenia.
Right, the brother tandem, a freshman and a sophomore. Some big boys, too. Benevenia, sophomore, 245, 6'2".
Right, the older brother, Benevenia, Matt Benevenia, a sophomore, not too old.
Right.
The younger one, Mike Benevenia, a freshman, both very talented players with bright futures.
Yes. All right, let's see what Delone can do here inside the red zone. And again, you're going to have, Delone with a mistake.
This is going to be a timeout. York Suburban, Andy Laux wants to discuss things before the Squires go from their own 8-yard line, 2nd and goal from the 8. Coach, we've seen them go with the waggle passes and get a tight end free. We've seen them get a running back free.
And they do that.
We've seen them be successful with the dive play, keeping the fullback up the middle, and they've tried their best to keep this defense honest, trying to run some sweeps and try to get the edge. But as you said, the speed, too much for the defense. What do you do here if you're head coach Corey Zorban?
I'm going to tell you what. I fake the dive because they're going to pinch on that. Fake the dive, and like you said, I think the tight end in a quarter in the end zone, roll him out, just like he did to get the 8-yard gain. If they don't bracket him, he's going to be open. That's where I'd go.
So we saw the backup tight end, Ryan Myers, and he had a big 25-yard gain to help get the Squires in the great field position they have now. And he's actually the backup tight end. He's a senior.
You don't need it all right here.
Kyle Denish.
Watch Joe Hernandez if he comes in motion, number 28 from the right side. Nope.
Kevin Mowry under center. He's going to run the option to the right side. He's going to keep it himself. He tucks it and puts his head down into the end zone. It's an 8-yard rushing touchdown for the senior captain quarterback, Kevin Mowry. And the Squires are on the board.
Tell you what, we might have a football game here. Okay? That was a nicely designed play that time. Roll him out. He froze the safeties in the back. They thought maybe it was a pass play, and then he just tucks it and runs.
So there it is.
Nice job that time by Delone to get downfield.
You see the creativity of head coach Corey Zortman mixing it up and keeping this defense guessing and on their heels in to do the extra point attempt honors, and putting it through the uprights is Tony Espinosa. The Squires finally on the board with 5:19 remaining in our first half. The Trojans still lead 21, Squires 7.
Teamwork, commitment, and passion. Those 3 words are the foundation of what has made Brown's Orchards and Farm Market a favorite Southern York County destination for 70 years. Stop in for crisp, juicy apples, meet friends in the cafe and coffee bar, or shop the greenhouse for fall decorating. And while you're there, grab your favorite Browns football party food and cheer on your team. We applaud every player and fan for your teamwork, commitment, and passion for the game. BrownsOrchards.com.
New FM signal, new website. Visit us online at 989WOYK.com and take us on the go. Download the new WOYK app today.
Back here at York Suburban as they play host to Delone Catholic, and Delone Catholic kicking off, and back to return for York Suburban. Some explosive guys, and receiving it at the 1-yard line is Nate Banks. He brings it out, makes a move at the 23, makes 3 defenders miss, and gets around the left side to the 30, to the 40, crosses midfield. He got one guy to beat. It's a foot race to the end zone. He will not get caught. A 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by the explosive Nate Banks.
And how do you allow him? If you're Delone Catholic, how do you allow him to get the corner? Why bite on the inside move? You have to stay disciplined. You know that as well as I do. Special teams, you cannot let that returner get outside, and that's what happened. And then it's just a foot race.
What an answer from the Trojans. Nate Banks did a great job, very patient, letting his blockers come in and set that run up for him. And Nate Banks, trying to catch his breath, will go back and hold for this extra point attempt. Getting a good snap and putting it through the uprights is Griffin Smith.
You know, I've been impressed this first 2 games with the kickers. We had one missed field goal tonight, and I believe we had 1 missed field goal last week, but everything else has been right on the money. We saw probably one of the better kickers in the league in Basel last week, but these kickers, I'll tell you, back when I first started calling football back in the late 90s, the extra point was an adventure. It was an adventure.
That's funny. And now you see that a little bit more in the NFL.
But that's why they moved it back. You know what I mean? So,
hey, even when I was in high school, it was still a little bit more of an adventure. We had a block. We had a square-toed shoe for anyone that could just go up there and kick it with their toe.
You don't even want to know what we did back in my day.
So here comes York Suburban. They line up to kick it off once again. It's David Moy as he approaches the ball and boots it. And this is going to be an infraction, another flag. As he kicks it out of bounds, it goes out at about the 21, 22-yard line. Delone Catholic will have good field position. See if they can answer after the explosive special teams play by Nate Banks, returning 99 yards for a touchdown. And with 5 minutes, 1 second remaining in the first half. Here in our Broadway transmission second quarter, the Trojans lead 28, Delone Catholic 7. Delone will go from their own 35, first and 10.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can't make those kinds of mistakes. You just, you get the big play and then you make the big mistake and give them some fresh field position.
Delone did a good job as they stayed after it with a lot of tenacity on offense, moving the ball, finally got on the board, gave up a big play on special teams. Here they go, first and 10.
Met immediately by number 39, that's Jamal Lewis.
And again, that is Josh Fulton, the fullback, getting the carry up the middle. Seeing them have success, giving him the ball.
But that time he went a little bit off tackle. I like it when a dive goes right up over the center between that gap, between Benavenia and Hayden Toman.
The Squires come back out, and Mowry will go from the pistol. He will look left, he will throw left, and as the receiver slips, and fortunate that ball falls incomplete.
Savion Harrison keeps his head up and sees the football. That's 6.
Ball's incomplete.
That was Mason Clayball, the intended receiver. Mowry threw it out immediately before Clayball was able to come back to the ball, and Clayball slipped as he tried to make his cut.
It's a nice field, good traction, but that time he just lost his footing.
So incomplete and another 3rd and 9 for the Squires. And here's Mowry rolling out to his left, finding a wide open receiver, and across the midfield, racing down the left sideline, finally knocked out at the 22-yard line. That's going to be Michael O'Brien, the 5'8", 175-pound junior.
Savion Harris with a missed tackle, and that just opened up that lane.
And that's about a 45-yard gain.
Absolutely.
Pitch and catch.
And that's what happens. You miss a tackle. Now Delone set up for success here.
Delone Catholic continues to stay after it and move the ball. It's going to be Joe Hernandez getting the handoff around the left side, getting about 3 or 4 before he is met and brought down by the linebacker, Jace Henderson.
Gain of 3. This is where Delone has done a nice job. Zortman has done a nice job, and his offensive coordinator calling plays down in here in the red zone.
A good York Suburban team. Got accustomed to playing against this wing T style. But the Squires sticking to their fundamentals, sticking to the game plan, moving the ball well. Here from the 20-yard line, 2nd and 7 as Mowry rolls out to his right. Wide open is the fullback, Fulton. And he's going to get 4 on that reception.
Boy, if you stretched 14 that time deep, Corey Hebner, you might have had a touchdown if he could have got it up.
2-yard gain on the play.
Big 3rd and 5 here for Delone.
3rd and 5.
You want to stay in this game, you need positive. You need a first down here.
There you go, 3rd and 5 from the 17-yard line.
You got Matt Benabania in there, 75 Hayden Toman playing those 2 inside tackles.
28,
see if they bring some heat.
28-7, Trojans lead the Squires. 2:50 remaining in the second quarter. Mowry rolls out to his left, wide open in the back of the end zone,
and he
just overshoots the outstretched arms of the tight end Ryan Myers, who had a big 25-yard reception on their last offensive possession. And just a little bit more air underneath that, and that could have been 6 for the Squires. Brings up 4th and 5 from the 17.
You got to go for this one. You're down 3 touchdowns, 2:45 left, first half. You got to go for this one.
Delone Catholic, white jerseys, Vegas gold pants, Vegas gold helmets come out.
Or try to draw them off sides.
Mowry in the pistol will take a timeout.
Timeout. Let's see, how can you...
Timeout of the half for Delone Catholic. With 2:45 remaining in the half.
I don't know if Coach called that or Kevin Mowry didn't like what he was saying here. Big play, I think. Big play, 4th down for both teams.
And Kevin Mowry comes in. He's a senior quarterback, obviously captain. Last week had 2 interceptions. Not gun shy. We've seen some good throws out of him tonight. He's comfortable throwing on the run. And he had some big shoes to fill coming in, taking over after Evan Brady. Seems like him and Zortman are very much on the same page.
They really are. And Mowry, like he said in the interview, Brady was like kind of ice. Mowry, a little more, lets mistakes bother him a little bit. But tonight, he's done a nice job, like you said, G. Roll in the pocket to one side or the other. The kid throws really well from both sides of the field on the run.
And what's that word you like quarterbacks to have, or athletes in general? Amnesia, is it?
That's it. And exactly, history. Forget the history. Plays over.
Mowry gets a snap out of the pistol, throws left to Joe Hernandez.
I don't think he got it. We'll see what they mark the
he caught it about 1 yard shy,
Yep.
and was met immediately by Jace Henderson. Jace Henderson does a great job from his linebacking position, going sideline to sideline, and helps his defense to a turnover on downs, and that is where the York Suburban Trojans will take over from their own 14-yard line with 2 minutes 36 remaining in the second quarter.
To go back to that play right there, that receiver has to understand where he is. He has to get by the sticks before he turns and looks.
So York Suburban comes out, 1st and 10 from the 14. And it's a handoff around the left side. And, man, with the speed of Savion Harrison, when he has daylight, he is quick to burst through that hole.
And when you're outweighed up front as much as Delone is right now, they can own this offensive line. And you can just run this clock out, get it down here. You're going to break the big play. They got their tight end in there, number 88.
2nd and 6. A handoff around the left side again.
no.
And breaking free is Savion Harris across the 30, across the 40, across the 50. He will not be caught untouched on his way to a 79-yard rushing touchdown. What an explosive athlete is Captain Savion Harris.
And I believe we've had 3 touchdowns in this game that have gone at least 60-plus for the Trojans. And that's just a breakdown on defensive assignment and great blocking up front by the Trojans. Wow. They don't need much time to score, do they?
And that puts Savion Harrison 118 rushing yards.
Wow.
On the evening. Kick is up through the uprights, and a 35-7 lead for York Suburban over the Squires.
Serving York for over 50 years.
years, Vito's Pizza. Check out their daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 till 2. 2 slices of pizza and a small soda, only $3.99, or a small sub for only $4.25. Monday night, 2 large cheese pizzas for only $15.99. Tuesday, a large stromboli and large pitcher of soda, just $11.99. Wednesday, a large cheese pizza and large pitcher of soda, just $11.49. Vito's open till midnight, Monday through Thursday till 1 a.m., Fridays and Saturdays. Dine in at 1734 South Queen Street, York, or get carry-out. Call 843-1143.
York's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. York.
Back here, York Suburban. As we've seen the Trojans just explode on offense.
And I mean, it's just big play after big play, and that's what's killed Delone tonight. They just are not able to stop those speed guys.
A high kick is fielded at the 21-yard line by the Squires, dancing, trying to make some moves, and brought down to 25.
You got to get north and south.
Corey Hefner on the return.
It's not Dancing with the Stars. You got to get going.
Number 14, Cam Brewer.
All right, let's see if Delone can get a big player of their own, because they need one right now.
Corey Hefner must not have been watching Savion Harrison to see how it's done.
Right, absolutely.
Find daylight, take it.
See ya.
First and 10 for the Squires from the 25.
The Squires go 1st and 10 from the 25. A
And
handoff up the middle.
Right,
to
there's
the
that
fullback.
dive play. Boom.
A gain of 9 on 1st and 10. Brings up 2nd and 1 for the Squires. Ball will be marked at the 34-yard line.
Josh Fulton, 5'9", 195-pound junior, pounding it for 9. They're vulnerable early to that play, and then they shut it down. Getting a lot of work for number 76, Chicory Calhoun, for Suburban on the defense.
2nd and 1, and another handoff up the middle, and Fulton brings the lumber, lowering the boom, throwing through defenders. I think that was
Mike Benevania. Welcome to varsity football.
Yep.
I mean, he just got
the freshman.
Wow. Hello. That was a lick. I mean, head-to-head contact.
A 9-yard gain and a 1st down for the Squires. They go from the 43. Rolling out is Mowry, looking back, throwing across his body. Had some open receivers, but not good spacing, and tried to throw it away from the defender.
No, that's spacing.
It's incomplete.
That spacing, we had about 6 guys in a 10-yard radius. All right.
Once again at halftime.
48 seconds, you know.
Marching Squires band will be.
I think you got to throw in this situation. Benevania comes off. Brendan Sterner goes in.
Squires 2nd and 10 from their own 43-yard line. In the pistol is Kevin Mowry. He fakes the handoff up the middle, around the left side goes Joe Hernandez, hurling a defender in the backfield and then stopped for no gain.
Too much penetration that time.
Clock continues to roll. Delone Catholic out of timeouts. 3rd and 10, 30 seconds remaining in our Broadway transmission 2nd quarter. And looked like the Squires tried to go to the air and tried to make something happen. Threw an incomplete pass, and with the wing tee, you are limited.
What is the stoppage clock?
We do have a clock stopped by the referees. Not sure if someone's injured or
nope.
No
that time, Jace Henderson from the Suburban linebacker corps came up and jammed that play for no gain. Did a nice job that time, filling the gap on the outside.
That appears to be the final.
So that'll do it for the first half here at Dick May Field. York Suburban Trojans coming out in a big way with a 35-7 point lead over Delone Catholic Squires, and the sun continues to set in the distance. And we'll go to break and come back with our Vito's Pizza halftime show.
At Donegal, we understand there are many costs associated with running a business. That's why Donegal works with you to provide quality insurance products based on your business needs, and why we deliver that insurance at a price to fit your budget. Call your local independent Donegal agent today and discover why, when it comes to insurance for your business, Donegal is a better value. Contact Kochman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Kochman. Kochman Kunkel Insurance.
Listen live and on demand with the new WOYK app and online at 989WOYK.com.
You don't have to wait till the fair to treat yourself to cotton candy. Maple Donuts has the scrumptious cotton candy donut now. Tasty cotton candy cream topped with fun blue. Colors. Remember the king with the famous Elvis donut through the end of August. Tasty banana flavored custard topped with peanut butter. August 28th is Maple Donut Night at the York Revolution. Stop by any location. Free tickets, no purchase necessary. Maple Donuts, they know a thing or two about donuts.
Take us on the go with the new WOYK app. Download on the Apple and Google Play stores today. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Welcome back to York Suburban as the Delone Catholic Marching Band is about to tee off and do their performance here at halftime, where we have York Suburban Trojans 35 and the visiting Delone Catholic Squires 7. And really it's been a dominating first half performance by York Suburban, but Delone Catholic, still with a lot of tenacity, refuses to let down.
If you remember when we were talking to Coach, all he talked about was mistakes and not having the big mistakes. And that, they just, right at this point, I mean, Corey's, he said it. We cannot have the big mistake at the big time. They give up the kickoff return, the interception for a touchdown. bad offsides penalty when they don't need it. All those things help. And the fact that they have a huge offensive and defensive line, but no quit in Delone. They put 7 up. They moved the ball against the superior opponent physically, I believe. And there's no quit in these kids. But the big play has just destroyed Delone. And that's what you got to guard against when you come to somebody's house. Mistakes, turnovers, big plays.
Right, and we saw York Suburban have the first takeaway, get that turnover, and that was the first mistake we saw from Delone.
Right.
Delone was able to bounce back, continue to move the ball, but really not stop York Suburban when Delone is on defense. And then when Delone does get a score and finally get some momentum going their way, we heard these coaches talk about having momentum and how important that is in athletics and in football. And then once Delone Catholic gets a little bit of momentum, gets on the board, gets that touchdown, they give up a 99-yard kickoff return on special teams.
And what they're going to see in film, and the coach is going to be dwelling on this, you got to get that contained. I've seen it now at least 3 different times where the guy with the outside responsibility that's supposed to turn everything back in is giving up the outside contain, and then all of a sudden, and these running backs and these return guys, these safeties, they can fly for Suburban. And you give them that 2 steps on the outside with a clear field, adios. And that's what we got. That's what's put 35 on the board for Suburban at this point. So,
right now York Suburban holding that 35-7 lead over the Squires, and as you say, explosive on offense.
Absolutely.
And they absolutely look like they have 10 returning starters on both sides of the ball.
And they do. And not only that, they're playing right now with a lot of confidence. This was a game last year that they got handed, they got their hats handed to them up there. And I'll tell you, they've not had to drive the ball. I mean, I think 3 or 4 of their touchdowns, 4 of them come on big plays.
A lot of big plays.
Right, a lot of big chunk plays. So when you're able to move the ball like that, makes it a whole lot easier on everybody.
So we'll take a break, gang, and we'll come back for more of our Vito's Pizza halftime show after this.
Weather. It's not the pounding repetition. It's not knowing how to dig deep as you start the climb of that last hill. For runners, the challenge is the discipline to keep running. Flying feet. Casual runners, amateur runners, hardcore runners, no matter what level runner you are, Flying Feet Sports Shoes is with you every step of the way. Flying Feet has become the leader in athletic footwear and properly fitting the feet of runners throughout Central PA. Flying Feet has become the leader in athletic footwear, properly fitting the feet of runners throughout Central PA. And that holds true whether you're training or racing on roads, tracks, or trails. For those searching for that discipline, Flying Feet provides the latest shoe innovations, the accessories and equipment, and the inspiration to keep on running. Greg Baum and his staff have the knowledge and the true understanding of what running is all about. As one local runner put it, Flying Feet is family, and all runners are welcome. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Melrose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83.
Serving York for over 50 years, Vito's Pizza. Check out their daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 till 2. 2 slices of pizza and a small soda, only $3.99, or a small sub for only $4.25. Monday night, 2 large cheese pizzas for only $15.99. Tuesday, a large stromboli and large pitcher of soda, just $11.99. Wednesday, a large cheese pizza and large pitcher of soda, just $11.49. Vito's open till midnight, Monday through Thursday till 1 a.m., Fridays and Saturdays. Dine in at 1734 South Queen Street, York, or get carry-out. Call 843-1143.
New FM signal, new website. Get features, live broadcasts, and on-demand game broadcasts and shows online at 989WOYK.com.
Welcome back to York Suburban as they are taking care of the Delone Catholic visiting Squires 35-7 here at our halftime Vito's Pizza show. And let's take a look and get some updates around the league and see what Brown's Orchards Farm Market scoreboard update has in store for us, Coach.
Last week we had a lot of offense. This week, not so much. Second quarter, Bermudian Springs 13-0 over Boiling Springs. Second quarter, Steel High 15, Biglerville nothing. Second quarter, Cumberland Valley 6, Central York nothing. Interesting score there. Biggest score up on the board, second quarter, Manheim Township 35-7 over Dallastown. Our score here at the half, 35-7. Elizabethtown in the second quarter got us a 28-7 lead on Dover. Eastern York and Hanover, nothing tie. Second quarter, Bishop Carroll 13, Fairfield nothing. Gettysburg with a 9-7 lead over McDevitt in the second quarter. Solanco and Kennerdale are scoreless in the second quarter. Littlestown and Susquehanna scoreless in the second quarter. New Oxford 13-0 over Conestoga Valley in the second quarter. Northeastern up on Carlisle by 2 touchdowns, 14-0 second quarter. Red Line 7-0 over Waynesboro in the second quarter. Chambersburg 14-0 over Southwestern in the second quarter. Spring Grove 14, Muhlenberg 7 in the second quarter. Shippensburg 12-0 over West York. And York High 26-0 over McCaskey. And Trinity at York Catholic, no score. So that is your scoreboard update.
Brought to you by Brown's Orchards and Farm Market.
Best apple pie around.
Is that right?
I love it.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these York Suburban players are getting some of that apple pie. Beef these guys up on the front.
Somebody got something going on with the weight. Wow. They had a lot of beef up front.
As it is, that is our scoreboard update. We will take a break and come back for more of our Vito's Pizza halftime show.
When you work with an independent insurance agent, you put the power of choice to work for you. Independent agents know several companies and their coverages, which means more options. And because companies like Donegal Insurance Group use the independent agent system, you not only get quality insurance, you also save money. The independent insurance agent system. Discover the power of choice. Contact Coatman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Kochman. Coatman Kunkel Insurance.
Hey, it's the good-looking genius at Broadway Transmission. You know what really grinds my gears? Perfectly good cars being thrown away just because the transmission went bad. My mind slips into overdrive when someone says,
I'll just get a new car before I spend that kind of money on a transmission.
What? According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car is $32,000. Now you're going to finance that, right? There's another $6,000 to $8,000. And if you drive it off the showroom floor, it loses 20% of its value immediately. Don't forget, you also have to pay sales tax, higher insurance rates, title and registration fees, and come up with $600, $700, $800 a month depending on your interest rates for 5 years. And remember, you will still have to pay for the upkeep of the car. Brakes, tires, wipers, fluids, etc. Stop! Trade your transmission, not your car.
Thanks, good-looking genius.
You're welcome, ma'am. Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and save you all that dough. Visit us on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Hunters Hill Orthodontics is a longtime staple in the orthodontic care community. With offices in York and Dillsburg, our practice's top priority is to provide you with the highest quality orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable environment. Call our York offices, 1910 Kenneth Road, at 767-6694 to make your appointment, or at 1399 South Queen Street, 885-5468. Or in Dillsburg, call 502-1186. We've got your smile at Hunters Hill Orthodontics.
New FM signal, new website. Visit us online at 989WOYK.com and take us on the go. Download the new WOYK app today.
Back here, York Suburban, as the Delone Catholic marching band heads off, and when the teams come out of the locker rooms, they will warm up and get ready for the second half action. And if we look back to the first half, Andy, we've seen a lot of big plays from really both sides of the ball. And let's first start with York Suburban. I mean, talk about big plays. Saw a 59-yard pitch and catch. Max Reinecker connected with Nate Banks. Nate Banks has 2 touchdowns tonight, 1 receiving of those 59 yards. Another one was an explosive 99-yard kickoff return.
Wow.
And the other highlight for the offense on York Suburban, Savion Harris. He's got a rushing touchdown of 4 yards, a rushing touchdown of 36 yards, and a rushing touchdown of 79 yards.
Tell you, that's a productive game for most running backs, and he's got that in one half. 24 minutes.
Delone Catholic, no slouch themselves on offense. We've seen Kevin Mowry, the quarterback, throw for a 16-yard gain, 25-yard gain, 45-yard gain. He's 6 for 10 with 97 yards through the air. And on the receiving end, of course, very productive for Delone Catholic. Tight end Ryan Myers hauled in a 25-yard catch. And also Michael O'Brien had that big 45-yard catch on the ground. Oh, man, it's been fun to watch Josh Fulton lower his. That's somebody who runs behind their pads. The fullback, Josh Fulton, he has 14 carries and 78 yards, not to mention Joe Hernandez has been spectacular going around the edge. He's got 41 yards on 11 carries, and some of those numbers are diminished because of being tackled in the backfield, but in total, York Suburban, first half, 227 yards. Delone Catholic, 225 yards.
And again, the big play and the mistakes are what the difference in the score is, because the yardage is, and they're doing this against a bigger physical football team, okay? So Delone, you go in a locker room and you have a situation like this. Coach Corey's got to just be in there saying, look, guys,
once again,
look at it, yard for yard. We're matching them yard for yard. The problem is we can't give them the chunk plays, okay? And I think we'll see in the second half. I'm going to be interested to see if Delone can clean up some of that outside edge stuff and not give them the outside. Force everything back to the middle where your linebackers can get a shot on somebody.
Both teams out of the locker room on their respective sides of the field, stretching, getting ready for second half action. We'll take another break, come back, wrap up our Vito's Pizza halftime show, and get ready for that second half action.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Today it seems everybody is offering a discount on car insurance, but at what price? Reduced protection, impersonal service. At State Farm, you can earn discounts and still get full service and dependable protection from the world's largest car insurer. See me, Trish Hauser, 1865 Susquehanna Trail North, York, for the State Farm multiple line discount. With State Farm, you get an agent you can depend on and an insurance company you can trust. For the details on State Farm's multiple line discount, see me, Trish Hauser.
Stony Brook Family Restaurant, located at 3560 East Market Street in York, is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Completely remodeled, Stony Brook is the home of good food and hospitality at reasonable prices. Proudly serving the York area for over 30 years, Stony Brook is family-owned and now also serves beer and wine. For home cooking, homemade soup, steaks, seafood, our famous roasted chicken, or just about anything, visit Stony Brook Family Restaurant, 3560 East Market Street in York.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Back here at York Suburban, getting ready for more York Adams action in our second half. York Suburban playing host to Delone Catholic, and only 2 yards difference in total offense after the first half, but still a dominating performance by York Suburban, especially looking at that scoreboard. The 28-point differential as the Trojans hold the advantage, and the teams are going to the sideline, get ready for this second half. We'll take one more break and come back for that second half action.
Get your football party started with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood Sure Save markets. Pick up party platters with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs and hamburgers with Best Yet rolls. Get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Sobel's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, and Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry. Can't get enough of the birds? Sports Radio 98.9 and 1350 WOYK has you covered. Join us all season on Mondays at 6 for the Baltimore Baseball Show, hosted by award-winning Orioles and National Baseball writer Dan Connolly from The Athletic Baltimore. Exclusive in-depth interviews, plus the latest insight and analysis on the Orioles every week. Talking baseball and the birds every Monday at 6. The Baltimore Baseball Show, brought to you by Flying Feet Sports Shoes on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
We were with you when you were struggling with the challenges of being a young athlete, before the challenges of keeping fit while working 9 to 5, and long before Pilates and Zumba were even a thing.
Flying Feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes outfitted you as a young athlete. When you slipped into a new sport practically every season, you learned a lot and you grew strong. Now that you're an adult, why stop? Flying Feet has the brands and the styles that will increase your performance no matter how you choose to maintain your fitness. Just like when you were a kid, when you shop Flying Feet, you know you'll walk away with the best fit and natural comfort. Flying Feet stocks fitness shoes and all kinds of fitness gear. So, what do you do these days? Trail walking? Working out on the track, on the street, in the gym? Sign up for exercise classes like Pilates, Zumba, or need shoes for weightlifting? It doesn't matter what you're into, you can always count on Flying Feet. It's the one sportswear specialty store that's truly ageless. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Melrose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83.
Listen live, on demand, and on the go. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores today.
Back here at York Suburban for the start of our second half, and opens up with a touchback, a nice deep kick from Tony Espinoza as Delone Catholic kicked it off, and York Suburban gets one play off, and it's going to be Savion Harrison running for a 6-yard gain around the left side, and from the 31-yard line, it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Trojans.
Number 74, defensive tackle Gage Willison in on a stop that time after that 6-yard pickup.
So Max Reinecker is in the shotgun, flanked to his right, Savion Harrison, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left.
Wide open.
Throwing downfield and cannot connect with Reinecker's favorite target, David Moy.
And Moy was wide open on a deep out. All he had to do was put it in his hands.
He's an explosive player, 5'8", 155-pound junior. Came into this play with 1 reception for 41 yards. And that's kind of been the story of this game. Big plays.
Big plays. And
they have playmakers.
Right, and they have playmakers and just some bad decisions by a couple of young Delone Squires.
And this will be big for the second half here on 3rd and 4. See if Delone Catholic can get a stop on defense, get some momentum. As Reinecker tosses it to the right, and Nate Banks takes it and gets just enough for a first down. That is going to be a 6-yard gain. Needed 4, got 6. First down, and move those chains, chain gang.
Absolutely. And the Squirettes are getting to him, but not until he gets to the second level.
Nate Banks did a good job. He was first had initial contact about 2 yards shy of the first down and just powered through that tackle, got the first down. York Suburban moving from our right to left on the right hash, and it's a handoff, a lead play to the left side. A great job coming through and making a tackle in the backfield. Ryan Myers from his linebacker position.
Really, and he just went through the gap. And it was 2 yards deep when he made the contact. Good job that time by the defense.
And that's Savion Harrison taking down the backfield for a loss of 2.
See if Reinecker can get a pass play off here.
2nd and 12. We have seen Delone be vulnerable in the secondary.
2 tight ends.
And Reinecker will take the snap out of the shotgun, keeps it himself, calls his own number, and is taken down for a gain of 1.
Nice job by number 59 that time. I do not have that number.
Number 59 is Micah Ford.
Okay.
Delone with an injury timeout, and we'll take it with him.
If you've been thinking of going to college and you would like to play sports when you get there, join our team. Earn a Penn State degree and continue to play the sports you love. 6 collegiate sports are now available, including baseball, soccer, men's basketball, women's softball, and women's volleyball. For more information, check out our website at PennStateYorkSports.com. Once again, that's Penn State Your Information. Check out our website at PennStateYorkSports.com. Once again, that's PennStateYorkSports.com.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses like yours with their visual communications. We ask the right questions, recommend smart solutions, and help you build your business. Our knowledgeable consultants uncover your communication challenges and provide visible solutions. At Fast Signs, we're innovators, planners, and designers. We're more than fast, more than signs, and we're more than ready to help. Contact Fast Signs today.
Visit our store next to Sam's Club in East York or visit us online at fastsigns.com.
York's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. York.
Back at York Suburban as live action, Warren Reinecker throws it out to his right to his backup tight end. Number 80 is Matt Benevenia with the reception. And, Coach, you called it. We missed one play thinking we would have a little bit more time with that injury timeout, and you wanted Reinecker to go downfield.
And he did.
And they did, connecting with a 27-yard pitch and catch to get into Delone Catholic territory. 1st and 10 was at the 43-yard line. They gained one on the last play, 2nd and 9 from the 42.
And that big play, it's been their go-to play all night. Anytime they need to chunk yardage.
And it was a nice contested catch. Defense in his face, had a hand up. Here's Reinecker again, throwing out to his tight end. Isaiah Pineda making the grab and powering ahead. 3 more yards after the catch to get the first down.
Brought down by number 21.
And that's going to be a 12-yard gain for the first down.
First down.
York Suburban in business, moving the change, and
Pineda limping off a little bit. Something.
Well, these injuries, a couple guys have been going down, and it's a lot of cramps. And you get that earlier on this season.
Right.
It's a nice hot night.
Yep.
Low 80s. Reinecker set 1st and 10, and he's going to hand it off up the middle.
Nice job by Delone's defense
Good job
that
by
time.
the Squires, getting penetration in the backfield and stopping the fullback Kevon Wright.
That was about the
ugliest
play that Suburban's run tonight.
Colin Snyder on the tackle for the Squires. No gain on the play.
And they've been able to run the ball pretty much at will. I'd like to see him throw a little more here.
2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line.
You got David Moy one-on-one out there. No safety help over the top. And he's there.
Reinecker throws it over top and just out of the outstretched reach of his target, number 9, Ty Posey.
You know, with the time he got, let's see if he comes back to Moy with that post, on that post. He was open. Now they're going to take Moy out.
We've seen times where the defensive backfield, Delone, great defense, and other times they look vulnerable. Reinecker, certainly a capable quarterback.
3rd and 10, he's got Banks on the outside.
Reinecker under center, 2 running backs in the backfield, and it's going to be reverse. And here comes Banks to the left side. And
nice
tripped
job
up.
right there.
And it's making a great play from the linebacker position. Ryan Myers.
Nice job that
back
time.
there to untie a shoelace, trips him up. Banks tries to gain his feet and cannot. Falls down for no gain.
Well, when you're up 38, when you're up 35-7, 4th and 10, the way your defense is playing.
If he could have kept his feet, he would have had a one-on-one in space with Joe Hernandez. I wanted to see that matchup.
Yeah, that would have been a great matchup.
So here it is, 4th and 10. Reinecker in the shotgun, and 2 running backs beside him.
A lot of
and
time.
We'll throw it downfield to the corner to Banks.
That's a catch. Oh,
and
no,
it's
interception.
intercepted. Corey Hefner, the free safety, the junior, in phase, step for step, goes up, and it's David Moy versus Corey Hefner. And on 4th and 10, Corey Hefner takes the interception at the 2-yard line.
And Max Reinecker really threw that. That was a pretty good throw. He threw it on the outside, and the D-back went up and got it. I mean, he just went up and got it. But he got him pinned deep. We saw this last week, okay? Down 35-7, they're pinned deep. They got to get this out. What do you think here? What's the chances?
And Delone Catholic would have been better off if Corey Hefner just knocked that down. Would have been a turnover on downs, and they would have taken over closer to the 30-yard line. Here they go from the 2-yard line. 1st and 10. Shadow their own field goal post. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. And I think that's Fulton that got the call. No, it's not. Michael O'Brien getting the carry. And we've got another player
54.
down. I think that's Nick Groff, defensive tackle. Hopefully, just a cramp.
Jamal Lewis on the tackle.
And in my professional opinion,
I like that.
From my business degree in CPA,
there you go.
I think that is just a cramp, hopefully.
You know, if you're Delone Catholic, you can't have anything down here that takes time to develop. Just get that quick snap. They did it there. They didn't get any yards, but they got to come up with something to get to the line quick and find a lane to get out.
And what are you looking for here, Coach? I mean, you're this far backed up, in your own territory. The shadow, the field goal post is on the back of your helmet.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want to get a first down. You want to get 2 first downs, and then you can really open up your playbook. And then you can start to get in that open field and have a little bit more security and running wherever you want.
Absolutely. And right now you just need yardage, any kind of positive yardage. They gained about a half a yard there. Suburban knows they're going to come with that. Maybe second back through, but they got to do it quick here. See what the gap looks like.
So 6 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in our Maple Donuts third quarter. It's Fulton that gets the call. He carries 3 defenders out to the 10-yard, 11-yard line.
And now it's doable, okay? Now it's doable.
A great 9-yard gain. He got hit after a gain of 2, carried 3 defenders for 7 yards. He is a man that runs behind his pads. Josh Fulton, 5'9", 195-pound junior.
And let's see if Corey comes up with something here that they haven't seen tonight.
A 3rd and 1 from the 11. Mowry under center, hands it off to the left side, and it's Joe Hernandez taking it to the outside, and the defense of the Trojans do a good job forcing him back inside, but not before Hernandez can get the first down.
Dermot Pogson on a stop there, but Delone out from the shadow of their end zone.
So there's the first down that they needed.
And these are the small victories that a team like Delone, a young team, needs. They're down big here, but every positive play for them is good for their psyche.
And here's Mowry, takes the snap, hands it off to Fulton up the middle. And that's going to be a gain of 5.
The more success they have with that dive play, that's going to open things up for them somewhere else.
Fulton, as we've said, powerful runner. Doesn't go down on that initial contact and always seems to fall forward.
Suburban defense right now. Calhoun's still in there.
2nd and 5 from the 21-yard line. Mowry fakes the handoff, rolls out to her right, avoids a tackle in the backfield. He's going to tuck it and keep it, tries to traverse field, and gets close to the first down marker. He might have it.
He's got it, according to this official, right underneath.
Yep, that's a 7-yard gain and a first down. Needed 5, got 7, and Delone Catholic is business. That's the second first down they needed.
And that's
now
what you
they
said.
can open up the playbook as they go from the 29-yard line and approach that open field area.
Now it all comes into play. So you've got, like you said, the entire playbook now. You're out from the shadow of your goal line. And they've done a nice job offensively moving the football. They just made mistakes on the big plays.
A good job by Kevin Mowry keeping his composure there. And again, here comes a handoff to Joe Hernandez around the left side. Another big chunk of yards on first down. That's a gain of 8. And Delone Catholic still continues to move the ball well.
Right. And you need defense. You need to close this up a little bit. I understand that you're winning the game 35-7, but you can't win every game on a big play. You got to be able to stop people when you need to. Right now, they need to stop.
So after gain of 8, 2nd and 2, and a handoff up the middle to the big fullback Fulton. Needed 2 yards, and they get 4.
Right. And he's able to get the handoff and get into the linebackers before they're tackled.
5-yard gain on the play.
Remember, this drive started on the 1 yard line, so you change field position. That's that's something that you want to do.
Delone got this ball with 6 minutes, 49 seconds in the third quarter. The clock now ticks to 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So approaching that 4-minute mark. They go 1st and 10 from the 42. It's a handoff up the middle. And Josh Fulton gets the ball and takes the linebacker Jamal Lewis for a ride for a gain of 5 or is it 4?
He's a beast. Yeah, just about 4, I would say. He's a beast in the middle there.
So gain of 4 on first down, 2nd and 6. Squires will go from the 46-yard line, moving from our left to right on the right hash. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the Maple Donuts third quarter. A 28-point advantage, 35-7. York Suburban leads.
If you're Suburban, though, you want to stop this team. This is not what you want to see as a coaching staff, okay? I don't care how big you're up.
Mowry, waggle pass to the left, rolling out. He'll decide to keep it and
puts his head down and gets
positive yardage.
Positive yardage.
Gain of 3.
Ball's at the midfield stripe.
So it's going to be a 3rd and 2 for the Squires.
This is where they've been very successful tonight. Garrett, they've been very successful in these 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They got a lot of weapons back there, and with this wing T, gives you a lot of situations you can throw on this defense.
So Nick Groff goes under center. Ball is placed at the midfield stripe, and there's a timeout. Delone Catholic.
Missed assignment there.
So, and this is what we've seen all night. When Delone is successful, they've gotten good chunk plays on 1st and 2nd down, and they've been in 3rd and manageable.
Right.
It's when you start seeing 3rd and 9, 3rd and plus 10, where Delone has really struggled.
And that's where the wing T is very good, in that 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, or 2nd and 2. That short yardage situation, because you don't know if the dive's coming with the fullback, or you can fake it to him and go off tackle. It's a great thing when you show them something that they don't see all the time.
Whereas a defender, typically your mentality very aggressive, physical. You just want to come upfield, see ball, get ball, come upfield with reckless abandonment. But whenever you run that wing T, you have to sit on your heels and be a little bit more patient. You have to read some keys before you can just react, and that is where that short yardage situation benefits this offense. And this offense coming out of the timeout, ball at the midfield stripe. Mowry under center. He's going to give it up the middle to Josh Fulton. He breaks free, continues to break tackles, and into Trojan territory, gets across the 35 and brought down at the 31-yard line.
That's a 23-yard gain.
And what an impressive run. Josh Fulton continues.
Over the left guard that time. He went right over Austin Staub, 205-pound senior, and just ate a big chunk play there.
Good pace by the Squires. They're back under center.
There's your
handoff
boy.
Goes around the left side to Joe Hernandez, hurdling defenders, getting the first down and more. Looks like he got about a 16, 17-yard gain. The Squires continue to move the chains inside the red zone and knocking on the door.
You still got most of your starters in here for Suburban. This is a great. I'll tell you what. They put 7 on the board here. This is a big momentum builder going forward in this season for the Delone Squires. Going 99 yards against this bunch.
And you can't tell me this defense isn't getting worn down when you have Josh Fulton continuing to drive that football through the heart of your defense. And there it is on 1st and 10. He gets a 4-yard gain, setting up a 2nd and 6. The ball is placed to the 10-yard line. The Squires can still get a first down at the 5.
You got guys up front for Delone giving away 70 pounds.
Mowry under center. He will turn another dive play up the middle to Josh Fulton.
Why not? Run it till they stop me. Right? It doesn't matter. Run it until they stop you.
We see some defenders on this defensive front. Slow to get up, not injured.
6-yard line, so it's
3rd and short 2.
They call it HOH, hand on hips. This defensive front is getting tired. They're getting worn out. And Mowry goes back under center on a 3rd and 1.
I'll tell you
Josh Fulton gets the call.
And he gets the first down on a
be-
second effort. Tell you what, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he just drilled them going forward.
Needed 1 yard, got 3, and it's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for the Squires.
We just watched this team go the 98 yards at this point.
6 minutes,
97.
49 seconds.
And that's the end of the quarter.
And 98 yards. And that'll do it for our Maple Donuts 3rd quarter. We'll take a break and come back for our 4th quarter.
Teamwork, commitment, and passion. Those 3 words are the foundation of what has made Brown's Orchards and Farm Market a favorite Southern York County destination for 70 years. Stop in for crisp, juicy apples, meet friends in the cafe and coffee bar, or shop the greenhouse for fall decorating. And while you're there, grab your favorite Browns football party food and cheer on your team. We applaud every player and fan for your teamwork, commitment, and passion for the game. BrownsOrchards.com.
Listen live and on demand with the new WOYK app and online at 989WOYK.com.
Back here, York Suburban, for the opening of our York Mitsubishi 4th quarter. And Delone Catholic, to open up the 4th quarter, will go 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. They just traveled 6 minutes, 49 seconds and went 98 yards. 98 yards.
Yeah.
And knocking on the door.
Here we go. See if Suburban can stiffen here.
Mowry under center and gives it to Joe Hernandez
Touchdown.
around the left side for a 3-yard rushing touchdown. And this offensive line has done a great job taking this offense 98 yards.
Michael Bryan on the touchdown for the Squires.
And a great job by this offense punching it in, getting back on the board. Pending the extra point, it'll be 35-14 with 11:54.
Big plus that time. Big plus for Delone. Positive situation for a young team in a hostile spot.
And the point after is good, making the score York Suburban 35 to Delone Catholic.
So Espinoza puts it through the uprights, and we have a 35-14 point game with 11:54 remaining in our York Mitsubishi 4th quarter.
Remember when an app was listen only? Oh yeah, that was kind of us, wasn't it? Well, we have a new app. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores and take Sports Radio 1350 on the go like never before. Listen on the go like always, and now get easier access to archived games and programs on demand. Watch WOYK game broadcasts on YouTube and so much more. Search the new WOYK on the Apple and Google Play stores and download today. First in York, first in sports.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Here at York Suburban, Tony Espinoza tees up the ball for our Fast Signs kickoff. First one of the 4th quarter back to receive for York Suburban. Number 2, Savion Harrison, and number 24, Nate Banks.
Wow.
And it's a deep kick, and that's going to land 5 yards deep into the end zone, a touchback. And thank the heavens, because you do not want Nate Banks to touch that ball, or even Savion Harrison with the kind of plays and explosive nature of these backs.
Right, we saw last week how what a weapon that kickoff can be when you can put it where you want it. And every time Basil put it on the goal line, it made them run. Here, maybe so much you might not want, like you said, you might not want that kid touching the football.
So 21-point advantage for York Suburban. They go 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Reinecker in the shotgun. In motion goes Savion Harrison. And he gets the handoff around the right side, making 2 defenders miss in the backfield. And it comes to a 3-yard gain before he is tackled by number 19 of Delone, Dylan Zimmerman.
They strung it out but got a nice gain on the play. But Delone did a nice job of stringing it out that time. Cramps.
So again, it looks like cramps with the injured player down on the field. Not one, but 2 trainers come out for this cramp.
Well, Suburban got one out there on the field.
I've had trouble with that tonight. A lot of cramping by these players. Again, early in the season, nice hot day. Got to stay hydrated.
So, 2nd and 7. We haven't seen a big pass play yet since the first half. See if Reinecker can get one off here.
2nd and 7, Trojans. White pants, white helmet, dark blue jerseys. Going from our left to right. Reinecker in the shotgun. Flanked to his right, the fullback Jamal Lewis. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the wide side, the top side of the far side of the field. And motion goes Savion Harrison. Fakes the handoff and throws across the middle. Nice grab by Isaiah Pineda. He gets enough for the first down, a gain of 8.
Puts that big paw out there and just pulled it in.
He did. That looked very similar to the interception we saw earlier from Delone. You just stick that big paw out there, get it, trap it with one hand.
And that's a big boy.
And cradle it with
6'3", 235. That's a big tight end in high school.
Only a junior. Another guy with a bright future. Also spectacular on the basketball court. Reinecker turns around and handoff to Savion Harrison up the middle for an 8-yard gain.
Savion adding to his total tonight. Delone just getting more down now up front. Okay, they're giving away too much weight up front, and you just, you get tired beating on you all game.
Savion Harrison, 167 yards in the first half.
Wow.
Continues to add to that total. Max Reinecker on 2nd and 2 from the 40-yard line. Moving from our left to right, ball in the middle of the field. Under center and a handoff up the middle to Savion Harrison. Breaking a tackle. And he gets a 5-6 yard gain.
And they're just blowing, right now they're just blowing the Squires off the ball. That offensive line for Suburban is just blowing the defensive line of Delone back 2 yards and just giving them a good start to get in that second level.
Squires giving up a little size.
Right, they don't have to throw the ball. If you're Suburban, you don't have to throw the ball if you don't want to.
The clock ticks to 10 minutes, 10 seconds here in the York Mitsubishi fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Another handoff up the middle of Savion Harrison.
Nice tackle that time by Wyatt Schlussler. First time we've mentioned his name.
Wyatt Schlussler, the backup linebacker, 5'9", 165-pound junior. Night like tonight where you have all these cramps, it's great to have depth.
Yep.
And again, we'll mention it. We've seen the kind of team York Suburban is. 10 returning starters on offense and 10 returning starters on defense. They are deep.
They can do it all.
And they are dominating this game. Here's a big pass play as Reinecker rolls out to the right, had some receivers open to his left, and decides to keep it on the ground.
I did believe that was a run play the whole way.
Knocked out of bounds by number 51, Jordan Sporey.
So that's a gain of 3 and a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, right in the number.
This is a very important play. Got to win these third downs if you're Delone Catholic. You have to get a stop here with 9 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Really spread the
down
field
21. Here. 2 receivers out to the left. Reinecker under center gives a handoff to Savion Harrison around the right side, and he jukes one defender. Gets more than enough for the first down before he is knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line of the Squires.
That's almost illegal, G, to be able to just hand that kid the ball and pick up that much yardage around the end.
And we've seen both these guys, Savion Harrison and Nate Banks, especially Savion Harrison from the backfield tonight, any kind of crease, and he's able to maneuver around, over,
quick
defenders.
Feet, great lateral movement.
Reinecker here in the shotgun. To his left, Jamal Lewis, and he looks downfield and lets it fly, and it's going to be intercepted at the 10-yard line.
Bad throw.
Again, the target is David Moy, and coming up with the interception, I believe, is
25.
Number 25.
Okay, Dylan Staub. Wasn't sure if it was 22 or 25.
Dylan Staub with
and it's Dylan Staub making the play. Again, Reinecker just throws it up, gives his guys a chance.
Right, but he threw it short.
Another interception.
He threw it short.
So the Squires able to get another turnover, get the ball back.
Again, you probably can't win the game, but positive yardage on every play is what Delone needs right now.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Mowry under center, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle to, you got it, Josh Fulton, the fullback.
Wow, that's the surest bet there is in Pennsylvania right now.
Absolutely, he's had a great night. Mr. Dependable.
Yes, sir. That dive play's been very good, and when you got a guy like that that's pounding it.
Not only does it wear out that defensive front, it also gets you to respect that dive much more.
Right.
It opens up
Everything
your other
else.
wing T plays. Right. And we see it here around the left side. Joe Hernandez cutting back against the grain, against the defense. He's got enough for the first down.
Now Hernandez is down.
25. Hernandez is down, grabbing his right hamstring. Hopefully another cramp. We're going to take a break during this injury timeout and come back with more of our York Mitsubishi fourth quarter.
Stony Brook Family Restaurant, located at 3560 East Market Street in York, is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Completely remodeled, Stony Brook is the home of good food and hospitality at reasonable prices. Proudly serving the York area for over 30 years, Stony Brook is family-owned and now also serves beer and wine. For home cooking, homemade soup, steaks, seafood, our famous roasted chicken, or just about anything, visit Stony Brook Family Restaurant, 3560 East Market Street in York.
Take us on the go with the new WOYK app. Download on the Apple and Google Play stores today. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Joe Hernandez is up, walking off the field after holding up
that hurts.
His hamstring with his cramp.
That hurts that Delone offense.
So we'll get back to action. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Squires 25-yard line. Down 21 points, 35-14 with 8 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. It's Mowry under center. He's going to hand it off up the middle to Mr. Fulton.
He just hops up.
Josh Fulton gets up. Offensive lineman trying to help him out. He doesn't even notice. He goes through those arms as well.
Yeah, really. He's had a great night tonight. I mean, and again, you can run so many things off that fake dive now because you've established it.
So Mowry tosses it to the right and
nothing
immediately hit at the line of scrimmage.
That's
and getting the toss is Michael O'Brien.
And number 22, that's Mike Benevania, the freshman.
Mike Benevania, the strong safety.
I'll tell you, he
coming
plays
down and
that,
making the hit.
Right, he has played that as well as anybody.
And it's been a clean game as far as penalties, but we do have a false start against Delone Catholic.
there's no decision. Right.
Penalty is declined. Legal procedure on the play.
So 3rd down and 8. Here we go.
3rd down and 8. 7 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Quarterback Kevin Mowry directing traffic from under center. And fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left. And good defense on the back end. He throws it across the grain. And it looked like it was in and out of the hands
Brings up 4th down.
of Corey Hefner. He also had Kyle Denish in the area at tight end.
A little too much congestion right there.
For the Squires.
And I'm trying to get the number. I think it might have been Michael O'Brien also in the vicinity of that pass. No, it's 25, not 22. It's Dylan Staub.
So Mike Benavini going to get a chance to return this punt. So we're going to see what kind of speed the freshman's got.
Oh, yeah, Ross, we got him here. No problem.
So Dylan Staub will go off under his own power, and while we have a second, we'll take a look around the league and get a couple score updates brought to you by WellSpan.
4th quarter, Bermudian Springs still holds at 13-0 over Boiling Springs. 3rd quarter, 21-0 Steel High leads Biglerville. 6-3 Cumberland Valley and Central in the 4th quarter. Manheim Township 3rd quarter, 42-7 beating up Dallastown. Elizabethtown 35-13 Eastern over Dover. Eastern York 40-3 now over Hanover. Fairfield 31-0 over, Bishop Carroll 31-0 over Fairfield.
Back to the field for action. We have a punt from Delone Catholic. Gabe Lee.
Oh, no.
Gives it a boot, and
Shanked
it goes
Punt goes out of bounds.
13 yards. Goes out of bounds. York Suburban will take over at the 38-yard line with 7 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
That will do nothing for your average, but bring it down. Again, Bishop McDevitt 21-9 now over Gettysburg. That changed. 3rd quarter. 3rd quarter, Solanco 19-7 over Kennerdale. Susquehannock in the 3rd, 6-0 over Littlestown. New Oxford 19-6 3rd quarter over Conestoga Valley. The Suburban won it all right here.
Suburban comes back on the field. 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Reinecker under center. We have a whistle before we can get the play. It looks like we have a timeout. Delone.
All right, Northeastern, 3rd quarter, 21-0 up on Carlisle. 3rd quarter, red line, 7-6. We got a barn burner out there in Waynesboro. 3rd quarter, Chambersburg, 14-7 over Southwestern. At the half, Spring Grove 33, Muhlenberg 14. 3rd quarter, Shippensburg 25-0 over West York. 3rd quarter, York High beating up on McCaskey, 41-zip. And at half, Trinity 14-0 over York Catholic.
So those are our scoreboard updates. Brought to you by Brown's Orchards and Farm Market. And you heard it here, Andy Bria.
That
says it, the best apple pie in town.
There you go.
Go there, get you some. Max Reinecker under center. 2 running backs in the backfield, and it's a lead play up the middle. Savion Harrison again gets the call, running behind Kevon Wright.
Brought down by Josh Fulton.
And that's just what you want to do in this situation. You know, put your running game in gear, run clock. There's no reason for you to throw the ball in these situations. You got the
7
big
yard.
lead, right? You got the big lead. Chew clock.
Yep, 7-yard gain on 1st and 10. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the York Mitsubishi 4th quarter. 2nd and 3, Reinecker back under center. Kevon Wright at fullback, Savion Harrison at tailback. He gets the call, making defender miss in the backfield.
Whoa. Nice job.
Cannot make the other 3 defenders miss, and it's going to be a loss of about 3.
And that was caused by Wyatt Schussler.
Yep.
He jumped that. He jumped the gap and got in the backfield and just run it and just ruined everything that was wanted to happen.
13-0 over Boiling Springs. Steel High.
After making the first defender miss, it's Wyatt Schusler, Josh Fulton, and Dylan Zimmerman all meeting in the backfield at the same time to take down Savion Harrison. I think it takes 3, 4, 5 people to keep him bottled up.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, everybody's going to have trouble with this big offensive line and him in the backfield. He's a shifty guy, great lateral movement.
Hanover 3 at the half.
Timeout, Suburban.
Timeout, Suburban on the field.
And Suburban takes a timeout. We'll take it with him and come back for the remaining 5 minutes, 30 seconds of our fourth quarter.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Listen live, on demand, and on the go. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores today.
Back at York Suburban, York Mitsubishi, fourth quarter. York Suburban with a commanding lead, 21-point advantage.
Interesting.
Scores 35-14.
You got Matt Benevania split wide here to our side.
Benevania, the backup tight end, 6'2", 245 sophomore. He goes in motion from left to right. Weinecker, the toss to the right to Savion Harrison, gets him out in space, and he is brought down from behind by number 26.
First down.
Savion Harrison for the first down for the Trojans.
Is it 26? 28, Joe Hernandez.
Game lead.
So Hernandez.
No, I'm sorry, it was 36.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think Hernandez.
Ryan Myers. That's enough for the first down, taken out to the 27-yard line.
And that's all they want to do, Suburban, right now. Just keep the chains moving, keep the clock running.
Some fresh jerseys in at fullback. Terrell Savory, senior, 5'11", 175 pounds. He leads the way for Savion Harrison around the right side. And driven out of bounds after a gain of 4, Gabe Lee. Captain making the stop for this Delone defense.
And at this point, it's just the battle up front is being won by the Trojans. They're eating up yardage, eating up clock.
Ball rests at the 24-yard line. That was a 3-yard.
Delone pretty much is
under 4:30 remaining.
Whooped at this point, but no quit in him.
2 wide receivers split out to the wide side of the field. Ball is on the right hash. Reinecker in the pistol, gives the handoff to Terrell Savory. He's hitting the backfield and powers ahead.
Reinecker gave him the ball and then pushed him. No, here. I want you to go here. So big play here. 3rd and 5. Probably in 2-down territory, would you think?
Football, a great sport to get that teamwork. Help your man out any way possible.
That's it, man. Just, no, I don't want you to go here. Here. Here we go. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, Reinecker under center. In motion from right to left is David Moy. Fakes the pitch to the left and throws it out to his tight end, Isaiah Pineda.
Nice pitch and catch that time with Pineda.
And he gets an 8-yard gain and a first down.
Nice pattern.
Ball is spotted at the 13. And Trojans continue to move the chains, continue to work the clock.
They've taken about 6 minutes off this clock since they've gotten the ball. I think they got it with 9
Got
and change.
Got the ball with 7 minutes and 4 seconds.
Was it? Okay.
Rolling down to 3:15 on the clock, so coming up on that 4-minute mark. And Reinecker under center gives the ball to Terrell Savory. Up the middle, spinning through tackles, making his way for a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5. A 7-yard gain.
Yeah, I'm going to give him that 7 and another Delone player down.
Stop. All right, that's enough of these guys.
So play will stop again with another injured player, and this time it's Ryan Myers. Ryan Myers, we've seen him, great contributor to this team on both sides of the ball. He did a big catch tonight, was just overthrown in the end zone another time. He's been active on defense from that linebacker position, making plays in the backfield as well as downfield in the passing game.
Suburban's going to win a lot of football games this year. That's a given. It's going to be interesting to see when they match up. The schedule favors them this year. They got to play Gettysburg. That's going to be a big game.
Well, we didn't talk about it enough coming into this game. It was really a revenge game.
Right.
And last year, Delone Catholic hung up 62, and a big donut for York Suburban at Delone Catholic. So they get some revenge. They're playing at Dick Mayfield. And so they open up this year at York Catholic. Blow the doors off of York Catholic 41-13. See what they're doing to Delone Catholic tonight. Then they play East Pennsboro, and East Pennsboro has to come here and play.
Right.
Then they're at East York, play Kennerdale, Muhlenberg, Dover, Gettysburg, West York, Susquehanna.
They can run the table. They could really run the table.
Reinecker under center gives the handoff up the middle to Terrell Savory. He maneuvers his way through the defense.
To the 1 yard line
and
first
down
and goal.
and to the 2 yard line. That's where it'll be first and goal for the Trojans. And if you kind of look at that schedule, they really do have an opportunity to run the table. Now, not real sure what kind of team Muhlenberg has this year. They're kind of an up and down program, can have some really good years. Dover will be a challenge. It's going to be at Dover. Reinecker under center from the 2 yard line. Terrell Savory at fullback. He gets the handoff. The senior pushes ahead for 2 yards and a touchdown. And Terrell Savory does the honors. Trojans tack on to this lead.
And now it's 40-41, soon to be 42-14. If you're Delone, though, you came in here, you gained a lot of yards, made a lot of mistakes, gave up a lot of big plays. So it gives you coaching staff, gives you something to go home, feel good about your guys, but also there's work to do. So you can balance. You don't have to go home and just beat on them. You can say, look, we played an excellent football team at their place, gained a lot of yards, but we made a lot of mistakes and gave up a lot of big plays. Fix that. You fix that, you got a team.
So a little bit of trouble on the hold for Nate Banks. And it's a stutter step for Griffin Smith, but still able to put it through the uprights. 42-14 advantage for the home York Suburban Trojans. And you look at that schedule again. So they're at Dover, and then that could be a game that maybe gets a little bit of a challenge, but they should win.
Right.
Gettysburg comes to town.
That's going to be. I think that's their big game of the season. The regular season.
And then they go to West York, and then Susquehanna, the last game. Susquehanna has to come here, and that's going to be what does Susquehanna do the rest of this year? We listen to the score earlier, Susquehanna 6-0 lead over Littlestown.
Right.
So
Littlestown always, they're tough up there. Remember the old Blue Mountain League? Them boys can get, they can play some ball.
It's been a lot of fun to hang out with you, Andy Bria. I love hearing these stories. The old Blue Mountain League.
It is, man.
Here's Griffin Smith. Tees it up for the kickoff. Back to return for the Squires. Number 7, Gabe Lee. And number 25, Mike O'Brien. Gabe Lee. Nope, it's going to be 14 on the return. And he will get it out to the 33-yard line. Corey Hefner.
They're going to mark him at the 35.
35.
Forward progress, 35-yard line.
He was met there, driven back by a host of Trojan defenders on special teams.
So if you're Delone Catholic, you got 2 minutes and 7 seconds. You don't want to give the ball back to Suburban. You want to finish this strong. Working time and situation, so when you're in a tight game.
And a timeout, York Suburban, Delone Catholic Gets it a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line with 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Must be a teaching moment. Probably got some new players in there for Suburban.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Don't forget next week, York Suburban.
Some clean jerseys. You can't necessarily say clean jerseys, can you, with this field turf?
No,
don't have much mud on the jerseys.
You can, right.
How about some dry jerseys? No sweat yet.
The rain, man. It's a lot of fun playing in the slop.
Miss those mud bowls. Days of the mud bowls in the Blue Mountain League.
Played on some real ugly fields back in that day.
No, they're the Panthers.
Here we go.
Delone Catholic, 1st and 10. Ball in the middle of the field and handoff up the middle.
And that's a
in at quarterback is Colton Keller. Sophomore, 5'10", 165 pounds.
On the stop for the Trojans, number 66, Brock Aaron.
But a gain of 4 with that dive play.
2nd and 6 for Delone. Keller goes to work under center. That's a handoff around the right side to Nate Hart. Nate Hart
Number 29
brought down for no gain, and he is tackled there by Josh Raffensberger. Josh Raffensberger, senior, 5'7", 165-pound linebacker.
Number 26, Terrell Savory.
1 minute, 13 seconds in our York Mitsubishi 4th quarter.
42-14, Suburbans had their way tonight. Big plays were the name of the game tonight.
28-point advantage as we tick under 1 minute. Keller under center. In motion goes Dylan Staub. And he gets the call around the left side for a gain of 2.
Number 9 that time, Ty Posey.
The sophomore brought down by number 9, Ty Posey.
Thank you, Buddha. Buddha's on right on top of that.
Ty Posey, he's a good athlete. We've seen him throughout the night. He spots in there throughout the game.
Right. 5'9", 190-pound junior.
Plays tight end and linebacker.
This may be the last play if they get it off, and they will. They should.
Clock ticks down to 5. Keller takes a snap. Handoff up the middle. And that'll do it.
That's your final play of the game.
For us here at Dick May Field, the Trojans, a dominating performance.
Number 25, Dylan Staub with the carry.
And they take care of the Squires 42-14. Stay tuned. We're going to take a break and come back. Wrap up the game with our post-game show, some scoreboard updates, and we'll wrap up what we saw here tonight. The York Suburban Trojans taking care of the Delone Catholic Squires.
You don't have to wait till the fair to treat yourself to cotton candy. Maple Donuts has the scrumptious cotton candy donut now. Tasty cotton candy cream topped with fun blue and pink colors. Remember the king with the famous Elvis donut through the end of August. Tasty banana-flavored custard topped with peanut butter icing. August 28th is Maple Donut Night at the York Revolution. Stop by any location for free tickets. No purchase necessary. Maple Donuts. They know a thing or two about donuts.
New FM signal, new website. Get features, live broadcasts, and on-demand game broadcasts and shows online at 989WOYK.com.
Welcome back to York Suburban, where the Trojans take care of the Squires in a handily performance. 42-14 tonight, and Delone Catholic certainly not letting up throughout the night, continued to move the ball and move the sticks. The York Suburban did the same as that. We went to the halftime break, and it was York Suburban had a commanding lead 35-7 and only 2 yards of total offense more than Delone Catholic. It was 227 to 225. And York Suburban with the big plays dominated this game. Came out in the second half, held on to that lead, and walked away with a demanding victory. We'll take another break, come back for our Penn State York post-game show. Coach will pick a player of the game. We'll get some score updates around the league. Stay tuned for more of the post-game show.
Get your football party started with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood Sure Save markets. Pick up party platters with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs and hamburgers with Best Yet rolls. Get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Sobel's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, and Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry.
You'll never find a better bang for your buck than in a new Mitsubishi from York Mitsubishi. York Mitsubishi packs tons of performance and features into today's hottest cars, starting at thousands below the competition, with even more discounts and rebates added on, like $5,000 off the 7-passenger Outlander, 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,500 cash back on Outlander Sport, 0% financing for 72 months on the Sporty Eclipse Cross. And don't forget the go-kart on steroids, the Mitsubishi Mirage, with up to 43 miles per gallon, one of the lowest priced cars in America today, starting at $12,990. Mitsubishi adds even more value with their exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Plus, any purchase made with 0% financing means no payment for 90 days. And remember, past credit problems are never an issue at York Mitsubishi. So get pre-approved at YorkMitsubishi.com now. York Mitsubishi, around the corner of Route 30 and Roosevelt Avenue, where Mitsubishis always cost less.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Back here to wrap things up at York Suburban after a commanding victory. 42-14, York Suburban takes care of Delone Catholic tonight. And what we saw throughout the game, a lot of big plays from York Suburban, and Delone Catholic continued to fight and continued to stay with the fundamentals, try to run their offense tonight, but not enough.
No, and it wasn't. But, you know, it's that thing you said to me earlier that I like to talk about. There's no history. Plays over, plays over. And that's what Delone showed you tonight. They give up the big play, but then they come right back in, eat up some yardage. Maybe not score, but you're a young bunch, and it'll do them well. On the other side of the coin, Suburban, explosive offense, okay? Got some big dudes up front, missing 2 of their biggest dudes, okay? So, Suburban's going to be formidable this year, but I think Delone is going to surprise some people with their level of athleticism and that style that he runs, that wing T. If you don't get to see it, I mean, seeing it on film is one thing. Trying to figure out how to practice against it, that's a whole nother thing. So,
and that's right. That's we talked about that before the game and at the beginning of our broadcast. Is it's tough to replicate that wing T style in offense, and then you come out here, you try to practice against the scout team all week. You come out here on game night, everything's a little faster. It takes longer to get used to playing against that wing T style. And we saw earlier, at the very opening of the game, Delone Catholic did a great job of moving the ball,
right,
moving the chains. They didn't finish 2 drives. They had an opportunity inside the red zone and missed a field goal.
Right.
They had another time they were driving and had a fumble. So they didn't capitalize on those drives, but they did continue to move the ball. And then we saw York Suburban come back, and once they got used to that offense, they stuffed things on defense. And what I liked about Delone Catholic is they stayed true to their fundamentals. They stayed in their playbook and their game. They stuck to the game plan and then loosened that defense up again, had some passing plays that were successful, and continued to pound the ball throughout the night with the impressive running of Josh Fulton, the fullback, 5'9", 195 pounds. And that was fun to watch, to see them with their tenacity to stay after it on offense.
And that dive play and that wing T is set up just for that 4-4 front. You know what I mean? It gives you a natural gap right there. Get to it quick with a big, strong guy like that. And they were veering it off of left guard, right guard, wherever, off the center. They picked up nice yardage, and then all of a sudden you'd get the fake, and you'd get Hernandez going outside. So I think they got a bright future. Delone. That wing T, again, is tough, and they run it really well. And like you said, and I think is the key point, they stayed true to it. Even when Suburban finally in the beginning of the second quarter kind of figured out, okay, we got to take that dive away from them and shut them down, they just kept coming with it, and the defense didn't stay disciplined. And I mean, look at the yardage. Okay?
So Delone knows their identity, right? And they stick to the game plan. Right. They do a great job of that. And you see the players not give up, come out time and time again, physical, and they got some athletes, right?
Right.
And this offense really fits the kind of athletes that they bring out and put on the field for a 2A school that's going to have a team that you're not going to have you're not going to have a lot of depth beyond the guys you have out there starting, right?
Exactly.
So it fits the program. They do a great job of staying after it, and we saw the score really, it became an avalanche of York Suburban really starting to put on the score, and that's when you run into trouble with that wing tees, when you're behind and down a distance, or you start to really fall behind in the score. It's tough to, and we saw Delone take up 7 minutes in the third quarter on a scoring drive. They went 98 yards in 7 minutes, which is fantastic execution.
Except you're down 35-7.
And if you can do that in the first quarter and keep an explosive offense off the field, that's what you want from your wing T offense.
Take away 3 plays, okay? Take away interception, a 99-yard punt, kickoff return, okay? And this is a 21-14 game. Fumble. It's a 21-14 game, okay? With a powerhouse 20 starters back against a team that lost most of theirs, okay? I mean, I understand the Trojans are a hell of a football team, but again, Delone can take away from this and go back and build on this. Listen, total yards in this game.
So at halftime, we have 35-7 is the score, York Suburban over Delone Catholic. York Suburban total yards at halftime, 227 yards. Delone Catholic, 225. 2 yards less of total offense, yet a 28-point differential.
Right.
And so we talk about how well Delone Catholic did in this game, and the score certainly doesn't show it.
Right.
But now let's talk about York Suburban, because they did fantastic in this game.
Well,
I mean, their explosive plays, the kind of athletes they have, the size they have up front, and they were missing 2 of their best offensive linemen tonight.
Right. So you've got running backs that can get the job done both inside and outside. You've got tight ends, 2 big tight ends. I mean, you
got Isaiah Pineda. He's 6'3", 235. He's a junior.
You got
Matt Benevania.
6'2", 245. Okay. You got
sophomore.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. Jamal Lewis, a fullback. We saw him. He's a sophomore at 185 pounds. I mean, you got great depth up front. I mean, they got the whole package. Yet offensively, they didn't have to show a lot tonight because the big plays just, boom, 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 21 points. See it, game over. Against, like you said, against a team like Delone that's got to stay in the game with that wing T.
And then conversely, we talk about the big plays. We also saw them finish the game and take up almost the entire fourth quarter, moving the ball down the field on offense.
And exactly, using the run, not getting away from it, use the clock. You're able to take time off the clock, and that's what you got to do. Because that's what you got to do when the regular season is over and you get to districts. And that's what everybody plays for. This is all about getting ready so you can go to the playoffs and do well. And that's what it's about.
So we'll take one more break, and then we'll come back. We'll pick a player of the game, do a little roundup of the league, check on some scores, and then we'll get out of here from York Suburban.
All right.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Hi, this is Steve Navaroli. Join me Saturday mornings at 9 for Central PA Game Day, presented by Neighborhood Sure Save Markets, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. Tune in each week as we break down the latest in high school sports, including Friday night's big games, the week's top performers, and the rest of the sports scene, both locally and nationally. Central PA Game Day, presented by Neighborhood Sure Save Markets, Saturdays at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. First in York, first in sports.
The home for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Back at York Suburban, wrapping up this night's action here in our Penn State York post-game show. Time now for our Sure Save Neighborhood Markets Player of the Game. Andy?
We're going with Savion Harrison, okay?
Whoa.
Running back. 5'8", 170-pound senior. He had 210 rushing yards tonight. Now, that 210, it makes is part of the 351 yards that Suburban had. To Delone's 349. You're not going to see that the rest of the year. Look at that, G. You're not going to see that the rest of the year. That's unbelievable. And they lost 42-14. Was that the final?
28-point differential.
28-point differential.
And only 3-yard difference of total yardage.
Actually, it's only 2 yards. But that,
2 yards.
That's unbelievable. I'm not sure of all the football I've seen, I've ever seen it.
So Savion Harrison is our Sure Save Neighborhood Markets Player of the Game. Had
Absolutely.
a total 210 yards rushing, and at the half had 167 also. 3 touchdowns tonight. Impressive performance with him. We'll take a break, come back, wrap up our Penn State York halftime show. We'll give you some scoreboard updates and close it down from here at York Suburban.
Get your football party started with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood Sure Save Markets. Pick up party platters with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs and hamburgers with Best Yet rolls. Get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Sobel's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, and Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry. Remember when an app was listen only? Oh yeah, that was kind of us, wasn't it? Well, we have a new app. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores and take Sports Radio 1350 on the go like never before. Listen on the go like always, and now get easier access to archived games and programs on demand. Watch WOYK game broadcasts on YouTube and so much more. Search the new WOYK on the Apple and Google Play stores and download today. First in York. First in sports. New FM signal, new website. Visit us online at 989WOYK.com and take us on the go. Download the new WOYK app today.
Back here for one more final time at York Suburban to close up shop on our post-game show brought to you by Penn State York. Time now for our WellSpan Scoreboard Show. Coach, take us around the league. What are some scores?
Here we go. Fourth quarter, Bermudian Springs still holding that 13-0 lead over Boiling Springs. Fourth quarter, Steel High now beating up on Biglerville, 35-7. Fourth quarter, Central York 12, Cumberland Valley 6. Okay. Final, Manheim Township 56-7 over Dallastown. Third quarter, Elizabethtown 41-26 over Dover. Third quarter, Eastern York 47-3 over Hanover. A final, Bishop Carroll 31, Fairfield nothing. Third quarter, Bishop McDevitt 21-9 over Gettysburg. Fourth quarter, Solanco 19-14 over Kennerdale. A final, Susquehannock beats Littlestown 14-0. Fourth quarter, New Oxford 29, Conestoga Valley 6. In the fourth, Northeastern 21-7 over Carlisle. Redline 14-12 over Waynesburg in the fourth. Chambersburg 35-7 over Southwestern in the fourth. At the half, Spring Grove 39-14 over Muhlenberg. Shippensburg beating up on West York 31-0 in the fourth quarter. York High beating up on McCaskey 61-0 in the fourth quarter. And at the half, and that's the only score we have, Trinity 14-0 over York Catholic.
Scoreboard show.
Yep.
Brought to you by WellSpan. And we'll wrap up our Penn State York post-game show. It's been a dominating performance by York Suburban tonight.
Absolutely.
But still a fun time out here with you, Coach.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Tell you what, York Suburban, 2-0 to start the season. And they hand Delone Catholic their second loss of the season, 0-2 to start the season at a clip of 42-14. And that will be a wrap on our Week 2 high school football game of the week on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and WOYK 1350, also found on YouTube at the WOYK Preps YouTube channel. I'm Gareth Hissong, and for my partner, Andy Bria, have a good night.
Thank you for listening to WOYK's High School Football Game of the Week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine, the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of the York Revolution, bringing you the best of the York Adams League every Friday night. Listen on the go with the WOYK app and online at WOYK1350.com. And make sure to tune in every Saturday morning at 9 for Central PA Game Day with Steve Navaroli, presented by Neighborhood Sure Save Markets, your source for a full look at all of Friday night's action. High school football plays here on York's home for local sports. Now, we rejoin our regularly scheduled programming already in progress on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.